Nestled at the midpoint of the Mithril Mountains that border the Blue Peaks in the Aborian Valley lies Donadan, named for Ulrich Donadan, the Mountain Father, a pioneering dwarf who led his first settlers to the north of the Valenring from the southern Shining Vale to live atop the higher peaks of the northern Aborian Valley, establishing relationships with the still young race of humans. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the Teahouse where tales are told. If you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. And until further notice, time to open shop.
Until further notice.
Clarify, that means that the shop is now forever open. Is that just your way of getting out of having to do those intros?
Shit. I meant for that to be like ominous, but in fact it was the opposite. Now I'm a little worried about that.
24-hour D&D
never
live
gonna
stream
end.
never
Yeah,
ending.
we don't stop anymore, guys.
No, not signing up for this. Bye, guys. Bye.
Ooh. Oh
Farewell.
no, she's disappearing.
Yeah.
She's going into the light.
Yeah, bye.
The light really just
I
sort of.
don't know why when I lean over, my light just
Do it again, do it again.
overexposes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it works. It can't find me and it freaks out, I
A
guess.
sickening radiance.
Scared.
Last time, the Deviants allowed themselves to be captured by the Lodumnians after being forced inside the Solrot Squire's carriage with the missing scroll. They defended themselves against the attack of the Raven Knight and continued their journey northward. Whereas they passed through the ash gate to the next floor, they discovered a blood-soaked battlefield with a single standing knight at the far end. Donned of armor merged with dragon scales, they
I flung into
you
the
died!
Holy moly.
Merged
Don't
with
get it.
dragon scales. As the knight takes notice of the family, they begin to move in. And as they take their first blood-soaked steps towards you, we jump back in. As they move across the battlefield, everybody roll initiative.
Oh no.
They don't seem hostile though, right? Like they're just walking towards us.
They're chill. They just figured that you guys would be fun.
I'm just
This-
asking, you know.
I
I'm
just
just
feel like,
responding.
And then we shout, "No soliciting!" from across the battlefield, and then they are aggro.
No, they turn around and leave with their vacuum cleaners in tow.
Oh no.
I was just gonna pick up all this worn-torn mess with this, blood-suck 3000, but
That suck.
Have you had difficulty getting dirt out of your blood?
Oh.
Have I ever?
It sounds like
Well,
they would use that because back in the old days they used to do bloodletting as like a
Mhm.
viable medical procedure. Have you ever made mess while bloodletting your peasants from the plague? Get the blood suck 5,000 and make this easy.
The
Have
acting
you
of that
met
is
my
equally
nurses? It's
bad.
just a bucket of leeches.
It just shows a nurse standing there over top of a patient, and then blood spurts, and they're just like, oh. It's the terrible
Just-
acting.
Just out of curiosity, Killian, did you mean to roll that privately?
nope.
Okay.
Didn't mean to.
It'd be hard to hide it.
Yeah,
Killian's just-
no one can learn my initiative.
Killian
Don't
disappears
even
from the
tell me when
initiative
my
order.
turn is.
I don't even
wanna
want to know.
The rest of the campaign, Killian's like, fuck you, you don't get to know my role.
Haka
I'll
always
sneak them
goes at
all
initiative
blind.
20, right?
20. I wish I could automate that, but I do not believe I can. Ooh,
We just-
goodness. That initiative, though, wow. Yeah, he slowly begins walking towards you. Or the knight, rather, slowly begins walking towards you. Vincent, you are up.
Vincent kind of looks towards the group. So, are we gonna chat? He doesn't necessarily seem like he might attack. Vincent a lot. What does this passive insight give him?
He seems hostile. Or the knight seems hostile.
Either way.
And unless you have his handkerchief to try to get past this fight, I don't think we can.
it's
Oh no,
fine,
I only
yeah.
have his tidy whities.
Where did you get those?
Somewhere.
I bought them on eBay.
Vincent will put a hand on Jojo's shoulder and be like, I feel like we need to talk. And then use a bonus action to mentally connect with her, and then he'll move over here. Oh, actually, I'm gonna. Can you undo my movement for a second?
Yeah, if you control Z, it should undo.
By the way, with traveling on the road, I would have had Bladebeak out. Because he was.
Yeah, yeah. I
helping
put
me.
you on Blade Beak, assumedly.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I didn't see him.
I will say I tried to think of a different word for like handkerchief, and tidy whities came in, and I was like, that's not correct, but I'm gonna say it.
Cleany whiteys.
Technically, anything can be a handkerchief. Just saying.
I'm just gonna say that that's blasphemy. And your handkerchief needs to be monogrammed in silk. Actually, that's probably a bad material.
Yeah, but
Vincent,
that
continue.
you just described my tidy whities, man. How do you
Oh
know?
no! Monogrammed.
Very good.
Vincent and Bianca are like, yeah, I guess these are my teammates.
I'm just trying to calculate distance because he's very far. Okay. Bonus action used to connect to Jojo. I am going to have him roll an intelligence saving throw as I cast Mind Whip on him.
He does succeed.
So takes half the damage. Takes 5 psychic damage.
5 psychic damage.
Yes.
This energy racks through his head, and you see his head kind of jerk off to the side for a second, and then just the massive bulging muscles of this draconic neck pulls it back into position.
Okay, and he kind of takes his stance and kind of crouch. He doesn't go prone or anything, but he's going to crouch a little lower to the ground. Getting into battle mode and drawing his rapier, and it's the end of his turn.
Paka runs and hops over the wall, and then stands next to you. If you go
Papa,
down,
can you go
do you
in
go
behind
prone?
the cover here? No, I don't. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. There's a cannon over here.
If you can use it, aim it and fire, dear, at the bad guy.
There's a cannon over here. Just screams out again. Mo's turn. Mo is with you. Mo goes. Invisible. Mo, it takes off from your shoulder and begins to fly upwards, actually. So you fly up 30 feet. Just kind of whispers in your ear, I'm going to keep an eye on the battlefield. Takes off upwards. Killian, you're up.
Okay. Killian is going to measure how far away this guy is.
He's very far. Make sure
Somewhere
difficult
over
terrain
here.
is off when you're doing the measure.
Yeah,
Or-
it is right now. Is this where he is?
yeah.
That is where he is.
Okay. 110 feet. Woof. I can just barely get him, I think. So Killian's gonna hold a fairy fire spell. She kind of sparks up her tools and just like holds the flame as it starts to lick green fire around her tools. She's gonna have Bladebeak wander up here. Bladebeak's movement is 40 feet, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can I move this? Yes. Oh, I moved myself and not Bladebeak.
I'm gonna. I'll just give you free movement. There you go. And then Bladebeak should be.
Oh God. Okay. Hold on. Multiple things selected. All right. And then 60-foot range with 20-foot radius, fairy fire.
He's 75 feet from you right now.
She's holding it though.
No, so like
You're
he's
blasting
75
it so
feet
that
from me.
the knight's in the radius.
just the tail end of the radius he'll get hit by. Yeah. Just kind of releasing it in front of him. And click. Nope,
This
that
fairy
didn't work.
fire does not remain in place, right?
It does not. It's a one and done. But if he fails it, then it stays on him.
Dex save. Beauty.
Yeah.
You unleash this just blast of green flame that erupts out in this area and then slowly settles down with these faint bits of sparkles. And as it settles, the Dragon Knight, you see just shift out of position for a brief moment. Like the body begins to just blur and then continues to walk straight forward to you unaffected. The tree begins to glow. The stone wall begins to glow as green light, pale light begins to fill this entire area.
So it missed, right?
It missed.
Or he saved against it. Okay.
Objects are also fairy fired.
Oh, neat. Okay. Killian just says, it's fast. It did something. It wiggled. And that's Killian's turn.
Green light just fills that entire area. At the end of Killian's turn, Bladebeak just moving. And did you hop off Bladebeak?
I did not hop off Bladebeak, no.
Gotcha.
So Bladebeak, dodging.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Mimsy.
Circles over here. And it's just kind of trying to break line of sight, and it's just like... As soon as it reaches behind the tree, it just begins to attempt to shift and distort into this just raw wood itself, and then merges itself with the base of the tree, becoming indiscernible. Matilda, you were up.
Okie dokies. My turn. First thing I will do, because this thing looks like it's going to be ouchy, to do this. Thanks. No ouchies. Okay, 5, 10, 5.
Ooh, the spooky green over there.
Man, I think the hilarious thing is like can't see it.
Oh.
That was 35 feet now.
No, I'm just trying to see because I moved. I'm just trying to figure out if I was able to. There's a way that I moved and see it.
Oh, like on your as you traveled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stone walls next to you are just above your like eye line, and then as you glance through, basically like it's just cut off. As you move from your main position, you cycle over to there. Can you see the path you took? Oh, you were there. Okay.
It was like here. Went up here. It was like 5, 10, 15, 20.
So you're actually on like jumping up to this stone wall as well. You've actually moved 40 feet. So I'll say that you've taken the dash action this turn. Or you Armor of Agathist yourself.
I
I'm
did.
gonna bring you back here. This is basically as far as you can move, going the route that you took.
All right, then I'll end my turn since I can't see them.
Or you can have moved one more to the left. Actually, you'd be here.
Oh. Then I can see them. Haha.
See them right on the other side. So they are visible to you.
And do. What? What am I concentrating on?
I think that's old. It just never got brought off of you.
Oh, okay.
So you can't hex because you Armor of Agathist. They're both for
Oh
like
shoot!
level
Yeah,
spells.
never mind. Sorry. I will end my turn.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, Jojo, you were up.
I know that Kill said that they were fast, but I see a trebuchet, and you know your girl's gotta try the trebuchet.
Is
You
there
know?
any ammo in the trebuchet though, Adrian?
The trebuchet is prepared to fire. However, do you have any idea how a trebuchet works?
Dude, I am like a war historian. Do I
That's
have any
fair.
knowledge of trebuchets?
I will say
Did I
that
roll?
you have proficiency in history,
I do, yeah.
and you know how a trebuchet works.
Oh, yay! Awesome.
There is no
I'm
siege weapon
gonna-
proficiency.
I'm gonna try. How far did I just go? My full 40 to get here, and sort of like hoist up the front and sort of like change the direction, put it back down. Is it like an
I'm gonna
action
need
to
to
do all of
stop
this,
you
or,
right
like,
here.
hold
This
her?
is a catapult.
Uh-huh.
This is not a trebuchet.
What?
This is a trebuchet. This
Do I
is a
know how
catapult.
catapult
Yeah.
There's
works?
nothing in the catapult.
Oh, there's nothing in the catapult?
No. However, as you were running, you like reach the other side. There's like giant stones miring the ground. There is like skulls galore all over the place. There is this kind of like bloody soup. You got a few options, or you could throw like Matilda.
Something I own.
Something you own. Yeah.
Oh, me!
I could put like a warhammer in there and just sauce it, right?
Yeet.
I like that.
Just yeet it.
Are you covering it in blood? Is that what saucing means?
All
Yeah. Of
the only
course.
thing I want to say, Adrian, is how many rounds will this take to find the
That is
ammunition,
a
bring it
very
over,
good
and load it, and then trigger it? Like how long? How endeavored is this?
Basically, like you need one person on this side to load it, one person on the other side to fire it. Is really all this works. So like, if you can get over here, load it, run over here, use it, then you can, and then someone will need to reload it from where JoJo
Okay,
is running.
so could I say that I actually used my turn to go up and put something in the trebuchet? Like I picked up like one of the big rocks nearby and loaded it, and I shout out to Killian, "Hey, Kill, can you fire away? It's all ready for you."
Okay.
So you still have 15 feet of movement. Running over here, you grab like a boulder out of the ground, and with your strength, you just pull it out. You place it
Okay,
in.
awesome.
It's a fair chunk, and you place it down in the top of the catapult, and you got 15 feet of movement.
And that's my action. And,
Yes.
Okay. I guess I got 15 more feet. I'll just go next to Matilda.
As you end your turn here, out of the muck, you see two hands rip out and just grab onto the bottom of your legs.
No,
Immediately,
thank
this
you.
Oh!
creature will make an attack against you.
Watch
You
out
see
for
one
blood!
as it goes to grapple onto you, go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, great. Athletics, normal. I'm not raging. 15?
You see a specter formed of the blood of the fallen, several different skulls of fallen warriors trapped in its body. These like massive, long and pronounced sharpened bones forming fingers just stab into your legs. You are restrained and you take 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Ow! Watch out for the blood ghouls.
At the end of your turn, it is the dragon's turn. Moving over into blood, they disappear.
Did you disappear in the blood? Like how? Like they go invisible, or they get sucked into it, or?
Immediately pulled under. Vincent, you're
Oh.
actually the only person currently who can see this, I think. No, JoJo can, Matilda cannot, Bladebeak can, and Vincent can. But as it enters in, it just like steps into the blood and disappears.
Weird, it reminds me of the Digimon movie.
Oh my god, I hate it.
It's a pretty bold movie, I'll say that much. And then reappears right here. Turns its
Oh,
attention
shit.
towards Killian
Teleport
and
between the bed
Matilda
spots.
and begins to unleash. It brings its blade up, and you can see the center of the blade is hollow. It's just like it's like a chakram had been elongated into a blade. Two razor blades on either side. Just brings it up and carries through with two sword slashes against Matilda and Killian.
Oh, does he
It
reach?
does
Does
take
it?
damage.
As you look at this is a short sword. They are attacking Killian and Matilda. As the blade goes boom, boom, carries through one side and the other. That's a hit on both. Matilda, you take 9 points of piercing damage. Killian, you take, that is 14 points of piercing damage. And then the armor of Agathis just shatters back towards them.
Yeah, they take 20 points of cold damage.
Jeez, 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Owie.
It's the
And
teleport.
then it was 6 points of what kind of damage?
9 points of.
There's 9 points of piercing damage.
Oh, 9 points. Sorry. I heard 6 for some reason.
They're then going to lean back. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Killian, Matilda, Vincent, JoJo, everybody right now. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, fuck.
Does Mo need to, or is he too high up?
Haka needs to. Mo needs to, yes. I'm going to put Mo here.
Done.
Bladebeak does not.
Oh.
JoJo, you failed. Killian, you failed. So you succeed.
This is what I think it's for narratively.
Wisdom save, you said?
Indeed. 13, that fails.
Damn.
JoJo, you failed.
What is
Mo.
Paka and Mo?
You are all frightened. As this creature steps out of the blood and the blood begins to pour off of them, the terror begins to just cycle through your body. They then turn, and then they take this just hammer tail that they have, and they spin. As it slams into the side of Jojo, rakes through and slams into the side of Killian, each one of you takes 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Did it already rolled a hit?
Yes.
Can Bladebeak attempt to intersect with a reaction?
Absolutely. Bladebeak brings its metallic body in the way. How much? That
It's
disadvantage,
just
yes?
disadvantage against Killian. Yeah.
I'll roll another dice. Bladebeak interposes themselves, slams into the entire body, like crumples inwards. Bladebeak doesn't take the damage; it just stops there, right?
Yeah.
No damage.
Nice.
The massive spiked club tail comes to an end right before Killian, and at the end of their turn, Vincent, you're up.
In the back of Jojo's head.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hold on a second. Kind of assess the battlefield a bit, figure out what's going on. I am going to have the individual, the knight, because I don't see actually the thing Jojo's screaming about. I think this is blocking it. Roll a wisdom saving throw as he points his Doctor's Wand Anthem. I need them to roll for command.
It failed and will use one of its legendary resistances.
Okay. I'm going to quicken cast Mind Sliver on him. Intelligence saving throw.
Yeah. Did I? Oops. I think I requested an intelligence save from everyone on the board. Ignore that if you see it. That is a success.
Okay, nothing happens then. Vincent will look a little bit annoyed, looking around and kind of assessing where the blood is. He's suspicious now. He's going to go over here and try and take cover this way. In the back of your head, Jojo, it's going to be like, you seemed a little angry earlier. Do you want to talk about that right now?
No.
Well, I think it's a perfect time. So, what's been bothering you, Blade?
Well, right now I'm pretty bothered by the nails that are driven into my leg, and I'm pretty freaked out at this guy right now.
Oh,
You
got
really
this.
gotta
Don't worry
know.
about that. Is something specific about me wanting to get to the top of the dungeon? Let's just explore. And
Yeah,
he'll prattle on like this for this, and then end his turn.
Oh my
Paka
God.
moves over here and reorients the cannon and says, "Tally-ho!" And he is going to do his best to attempt to shoot this guy.
Yes!
Paka has absolutely no knowledge of how this works.
Oh,
So he
don't
is
hurt
just going
yourself,
to
Paka.
like reach into himself and go. But he just makes a sound effect because he cannot breathe fire. And then he reaches into his bag, takes like flint and steel, and begins just tapping it against it in an attempt to light it. And
Mo
spends
is
his,
lucky.
spends his turn currently doing that. But you see the cannon pointed, and it's basically got this general line on it.
Mm.
So that could be a good or bad thing. Mo is invisible. Killian, you're up.
Okay, so Killian is feared, frightened. So she needs to escape, right? She can't take any actions until she's moved as
You
far away as she
can-
can.
So long as you know you can break line of sight with the source of your fear, you can act. It will be the same as normal frighten. But basically, our frighten rules are more like the fear spell. You
Gotcha.
can, so like you know this wall right behind you will provide cover, so you can like back up, shoot them, and then fucking just run for it, kind of thing.
Do I have the wherewithal to know that I have the means to remove fear and therefore
Oh, yeah.
move wherever I like?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then hurriedly, Killian is just kind of like side roll off of Bladebeak and just kind of like push off with her foot and probably like really ratchet her knees on the ground as she does so. But she's gonna pick herself up. Can she move just right to here? In doing so, and she's going to cast Heroism at a second level, touching grabbing the other leg that is not currently nailed in by Jojo's attacker, and both of us gain heroism.
Oh, nice.
Very
So we
nice.
are immune to the frightened condition, and we gain temp HP equal to 3 temp HP at the start of each of our turns.
Awesome.
And then Killian is going to use her bonus action to disengage and continue. Even though she's not feared anymore, she's going to get a little ways further away from this guy. Dismounting is half movement, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I would only have 10 movement left because I moved 5.
Yep.
Okay, then disengage and go there. And let me just target the 2 of us and release the spell. Draggy. Second level. Bap. I don't know if that worked. Oh wait, it's just a roll. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Not sure if it applied to Jojo correctly, but I'll let you figure that out.
You are both heroic.
All right. And because Killian used her bonus action, the only thing that Bladebeak will do is continue to dodge and just like keep an eye out for if anyone tries to hit Killian. Or itself, I guess. It can do either, but there's an order to it.
Brilliant. Also, you get that reaction back. Bladebeak begins to interpose themselves and just begins to move back and forth in a swaying pattern, just awaiting any kind of motion, the eyes darting back and forth, analyzing the target. I'm going to remove the mimic from... And Matilda, you were on.
Okie dokes. I am frightened of this thing, but what I am gonna do is don't like this thing that is targeting my friend, so I'm gonna itty-bitty them. Itty-bitty!
You will be at disadvantage because your sorcerer fear is in line of sight. Just FYI.
Oh, I would be?
Yes.
Rude. Okay, well.
18
Good
hits.
roll.
You bring a hand back. You unleash that Eldritch Blast. It passes through the creature, and it just disappears.
Oh,
You are no longer restrained, Jojo.
Nice. I did only roll 1 d20, but I doubt you'll.
I can roll it again. I thought it
Yeah.
rolled. Hold on.
Oh,
I'll try
you
again.
clicked disadvantage and then just rolled normally.
Okay. Why?
When you click it, then there's an option that pops up, and it'll say normal, disadvantage, advantage. This one's just letting you know that it's disadvantage. It doesn't force disadvantage.
Okay, so roll it again.
Just one more d20. Yeah.
Just to see if you roll a 1, basically, for critical miss.
Aha!
Oh.
You shoot the creature. You shoot the creature. It passes directly through the
Well, hold
creature and
on,
does no damage.
2 plus 4. That's 6.
It'd be 11 total.
11. Does 11 hit? No.
Does not.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna try again.
You loose the second blast.
So, okay, so I do this. Do I click disadvantage
Mhm.
and then disadvantage?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
17. Second blast comes through, passes through the creature, and it just fucking explodes into
Okay.
ether.
Okay, good. And then 5, 5, 10, 15. Oh no. Can't
There's
go
a
there?
wall there, yeah.
Okay.
So you like hover over onto the side of the wall, and then gotta get around.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
That's 35. Let me put you back here.
What?
Basically, diagonals count as 5 extra every second, but you can get
Yeah,
here.
but I only
basically
did-
just
I
do
only-
this. No.
But I only did one diagonal. That's fine. I just need to find
Uh,
somewhere where I can
Difficult
block.
terrain, then, I suppose. Something along those lines. But as you run around, you stand here, looking at the creature. You basically have your back up against the stone wall, and you feel your heartbeat just quicken.
Well, then
Wicked.
they get an attack of opportunity if I go that way, which is kind of what I was trying to avoid. But yeah, they left their
Let's see.
range.
I don't. Can you get around there this way? Oh, you can do this. You run off to the right, and then you can't move closer to them anyway, so that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
You rush off, you hide behind the wall on the right side.
Thanks.
Bonus action, anything?
Not right now.
And you still have 11 temp hit points for your armor of Aethys.
Yes, I do.
Jojo, you are on.
Does she get to roll a save at the end of her turn?
You do. Wisdom saving throw. Thank you, Bianca.
Lots
still-
going on.
Am I still spook? Still scared?
You shake the fright.
Here.
Woo!
Nice.
Hey!
Rage. Apply. Haha, I finally did it. Boom. That is whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before your rage ends, the creature takes force damage.
That sounds like chaos magic. Every time you were hit, a teacher somewhere takes force damage.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna just swing down this warhammer on this person. Oh, if I do alt, did I do it with advantage?
You have advantage, yep.
Sick. Nice. Why do I have advantage?
Did you attack recklessly?
I guess I did. There we go.
Seems like something you wouldn't
want
notice
them
you're
to
doing.
hit you, right? You want them to hit you.
I do want them to hit me. That's 13 damage of bludgeoning.
There's a 21. Good. They are going to, as you go to bear down your weapon upon them, they
Mhm.
don't attempt to block. You slam into them, and then their body spins, and they attempt to slam into you with their massive spiked tail.
Woohoo!
What is your AC right now? Let me check. What's this?
16.
As it spins
16.
around and slams you in the back, you exchange blows. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Have to
8.
8, and then they also take a d6 of force.
So that's a 13.
And then-
Go ahead and roll that d6.
And then because they take the
Five.
first, they hit you back.
This is gonna be the entire fight. Is this round?
This one turn, yeah.
Just goes back and forth indefinitely.
And my second attack goes off. Extra attack.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna do advantage. Recklessly.
Good.
That's also a 21 to hit. I'm gonna do versatile because I accidentally didn't do that last time. Normal. Woo! That's a 16.
16 damage.
Sorry if that was loud.
You're good.
Do they tail whip me again?
They don't.
Okay, cool.
One might
I
say
think
they have
that's-
already reacted.
I think that's me whole deal. So end turn.
On their turn, they are going to take a step into the blood and disappear.
Does that provoke?
Technically, it's a teleport,
Ah,
so it is not movement.
Gotcha.
They're going to go
I
here.
hate this so much.
They lean back. You see the plates of their armor bend, and as the chest begins to expand, you see it dig in, blood begins to pour down, and as they lean back, let out this just blast of acidic breath out of the throat, comes up and just shoots forward. As this happens, the entire helmet basically buckles outwards and then slowly just begins to form itself again.
ooh.
I need everybody within this. Get this up.
Do I get cover because I'm behind the wall?
15
We'll
of
have to
51.
see.
No, this is just like an acidic fog that spreads out throughout this entire
I
area.
understand.
Need everyone here
Breath
to
weapon.
roll for me. Constitution saving throw.
This makes me think of the Descent. I hate it.
Constitution save.
Oh, that's not great.
Ooh, 25.
Oh no!
Killian,
Oh!
you succeed. Jojo, you succeed. I'm sorry, Killian, you fail. Jojo, you succeed. Matilda, you fail. Blade Beak succeeds. And then that is everybody, yes? Yes.
Yeah.
Those of you who have failed take. That is. Sorry, let me pause here. Take 21 points of poison damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. And Matilda, you are not poisoned, however, as this acidic kind of just poison mist begins to fill your lungs. You can feel it begin to burn away at your insides. Killian, you succeed on your Constitution save.
Oh my gosh! Just fucking mustard gas? What the fuck is this bullshit?
That is the end of the creature's turn. Now, at the
Um,
beginning of the round, yes.
Just real quick, would Bladebeak be immune to this?
This is kind of an acid.
Okay.
Though it is poison damage, it kind of spreads around like an acid and begins to burn at you.
Okay.
With everyone here, both Matilda and Killian, your alchemical knowledge, this is not either. This is not acid or poison. As this is burning through you, this is something completely different. And alchemically, very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I told you that. I narratively am like, guys, this is cool, okay? Like my stuff. But
Is it pre-digesting me? What the fuck is this?
a little bit. You don't. You actually feel like that's
no.
relatively. Like this thing has
Oh.
just spewed out its poisonous stomach contents towards you.
Oh, fuck.
Vincent, you are up.
How well is the party looking? Can we throw up some bloody icons if it's necessary?
Or I'm not bloody.
Barely not bloody.
So everyone's not bloody yet. That's good. That's good. Cool.
And sorry, people that saved against that took half?
Half
that
damage.
right? Okay.
Vincent will step forward a little bit. I need him. It's not the best time to do this. Yeah, I need another wisdom saving throw from him.
Some save.
Mm-hmm.
What are you casting?
He points his wand at him again.
This is the
For his
second.
conductor's staff wand.
The second legendary resistance. Held again.
Burn another slot. That was his action. A bonus action. Vincent is going to look towards Jojo. Actually, look towards Killian and use a bonus action to cast Healing Word. You recover 6 hit points. Killian. In the back of Jojo's mind, you hear, "Are you sure, dear? I feel like we can find some sort of balance. I'm thinking like, touch this chapel this time, brush over here that time. What are your thoughts?"
Okay, yeah, if you want to know, yeah, I'm a little pissed because, like, you're just, like, want to get to the top, but I'm, like, I want to prove myself and, like, solve some of this stuff to people. I don't have time for this right now.
Oh, I think there's plenty of time, dear. Vincent will take a couple more steps over. Yeah, he's gone over here now. And get a line of sight of this thing in this turn.
Paka. I'm going to roll again for him as he attempts to. Oh, right. And then he flips his flint and steel over and just actually stops trying to rub the flint against the steel and does the opposite. Just to run it along the length and it begins to ignite the small fuse. He's like, grabs it and just tries desperately to line it up. Well, that's not right.
It's a widespread.
That would be more
cannon
accurate,
shot.
really.
Can he
Ooh,
even
yeah,
see
he
them?
can.
He cannot see them. He is
Oh,
going
no.
to take
Moves
aim.
around to the other side of the cannon.
He's going to make an attack with disadvantage.
Weird. There's no line of
Hit
sight.
Oh, wow.
on the cannon.
Wow. With disadvantage, that was a 21.
Woo!
He takes the cannon, takes aim. Hey, stop that, you. He
Perfect.
basically
Perfect bullet.
lines it up off to the side, jams it down, and you just see the cannon. Land directly down on, like, basically 2 to 3 feet away from the knight. And as it lands, it explodes, and they basically get launched off to the side. They hit. Well, it moves them further into the blood, but as they slam into the ground here, they are prone. They begin to just mire themselves in the muck as the skulls flip off to the side, and they place a hand down to lift themselves back up. They take a fair chunk of damage. It is Mo's turn. Mo continues doing what he do, and Killian, you're up.
Okay. Do I Because I mean, I got like tinker knowledge just like zapped into my brain by this tattoo. I've never used a catapult before, but that doesn't seem to matter because I understand how they work. Do they have a minimum range?
Ooh.
I feel like they would.
If you take aim with this catapult and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking flip it so it mouse traps this guy. I'm gonna check.
They do. If you've ever seen pumpkin chucking before, and if someone loads the catapult real bad, there is very much a minimum range.
The object
I love
flies
the
in a straight
watermelon ones
line.
that go-
In a straight line up to 90. Oh, that's actually the catapult spell.
You could also just smack him with the bucket.
We'll see. I'm just.
It could be a
There's a reason I'm
crazy,
asking if there's a minimum range.
crazy mousetrap contraption, but I feel like it'd be a one-time use, like it'd break itself.
Yeah.
Mousetrap.
I'm looking up trebuchet for another like 25 seconds, and if I don't find it, okay. So yeah, the range of a trebuchet is 600 over 900.
This is a catapult, actually.
This is a catapult, though. I couldn't find catapult. It kept linking me to the spell,
Oh.
so it all came full
Okay.
circle. The internet enforced that. Here's what I'm gonna say: you can attempt this. There is like a 50% chance it breaks it.
Okay, perfect. Well, the firing mechanism's here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Killian is going to just rush forward. Is the blood difficult terrain?
I can. If you hold your character, it should
What a question.
show you difficult terrain.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Okay,
It doesn't
it's
look
not.
like it.
Yeah. Okay, I run over here, and as I like turn to this guy that's like on the ground, which is like ranged attack disadvantage, like, yeah, that's my wheelhouse, is making ranged attacks with disadvantage. As she holds onto the lever and she turns around, and the amulet on her neck starts spinning clockwork wise. So the attack is a 10 plus, I guess this would be Dex
Plus
without
trebuchet.
proficiency. With proficiency.
I believe it has a +5 to it.
Okay, it just has a flat.
A flat
Just
plus
its own
5.
thing?
From it.
All right, well then a 15.
15. The clockwork amulet begins to spin. You turn your attention towards it. You let loose. Ooh, would proficiency play into this? This
The
is
Tinkerer,
someone's.
Come on.
Roll a d20.
specifically a weapon smith artificer. Sorry, roll int.
No, just a fate test.
Oh, okay.
Because one thing's already funny about this.
Hey.
That's favorable. I add your proficiency to this. As they are laying on the ground, they turn their attention over towards the catapult that's there. It lifts up, and as you just run by and slam down the lever, it whoop, flies over, basically almost crumples you. Roll dexterity saving throw. As you are directly in the line of fire.
I sure am. Whoops.
12. It lifts up. You're just like, heh, oh. As it turns entirely upside down, hits the top of it, and then the weight carries the entire thing over until it just slams down. The stone in it launches, and literally just as they look over, boom, slams into the side of their head and just crumples them into the blood. They are like legs kick up, and then they land. Go ahead and deal for me. This will be 6d8 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
And you take
Second-
damage from the catapult hitting you.
Second question: can I use a smite with when I use an artillery spell?
What kind of smite?
It would be a
Searing smite?
branding smite.
I think. Isn't that
I think
one
that
for
specifies
range? I
melee.
think it's melee weapons only.
When you hit a creature with
Oh.
a weapon attack.
With a
Let
weapon.
me see.
Ah.
Trebuchet is a ranged weapon attack. Yeah. You pour
Yeah,
the energy from your ash bond into this fucking boulder, and then you let loose.
Yep.
So you
So
roll
that's 68.
68.
Right? And then plus an extra 2d6 radiant.
Goodness.
I could have smited with the Archibald, my rubber chicken. I didn't know that.
I don't think divine smite. There are other smite
No.
spells.
Yeah,
that
that
work.
one's specific. This is the spell.
45 damage.
Well,
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. This is a Fury of the Small moment if I've ever seen one. So it's
Yeah.
more damage on top.
Another
Age-
7?
Age, if it does matter to you, 35 of that was non-magical bludgeoning because the catapult's not magical.
Checking through here, thank you. It does not seem to have made much of a difference because this guy's
Cool.
crumpled into the ground. Heavily bloodied. You see that stone just begin to lift. The body broken. Like the back shattered, the top half just limp off to the side. You see the muscles of this draconic form just again begin to pull it back into place as it reaches in and grabs one of those plates and just tears it off. You see the skin going with it. Throws it down. Takes this one, tears it off, throws it down, reaches back to its own tail, and you see it grab the tail as it begins to clutch its fingers together and just rakes a hole through. And then goes through and continues while the mouth screams. You see the armor plating break off, and as it leans up and lets out this deafening scream, it finally tears off its own tail, lifts it, flips it around, and then pulls from the bottom this just bone spur in this long sword, throwing the meat off of the edge and looking down towards you. And then it coughs out blood and falls to one knee before pulling itself back up and just remaining on its last fucking legs, wanting that little bit of death. Then it falls to its knees and face into the mud, defeated.
What?
The catapult, at this point, the catapult finally finishes falling, and as Killian's sitting there laughing, it boom! You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage from the weight of the catapult landing on you,
That's fair.
and the combat
Worth it.
has ended.
I fire up
Yeah.
a couple of Eldritch Blasts just to be safe.
You take aim into the mud, and
Yeah.
it just splatters.
If I assume that fear effect is no longer in play, but it would have ended as soon as I branding smited, because that is technically a concentration spell. But it's also defeated now. Like it would have been after hitting, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, no more concentration for me.
Paka begins to approach, and it's just like, is it over?
It looks like that, dear.
Okay.
Vincent just puts his like conductor's wand back into his lapel and kind of like surveys the area. Mo, is there anything else?
Mo approaches, and you can see his little, his like staff as he's hovering on it is just like ignited with this little bit of energy, and it goes out, and he's like, "No, I wasn't planning anything.
No, I mean like enemies, but what were you planning? I'd like to know.
Nothing. It involved just a little bit of fire, but nothing special. I mean, will we crush the guy? So mission complete, I would say."
I was gonna run over and give you a high five, but then Matilda like stops right before the blood. She's like, "Oh, I'm not stepping in that."
Yeah, watch out for the blood ghouls.
Yeah, there might be a couple around. Interesting.
Oh, are you done? Are you done our conversation now?
Oh, no, we can continue it, dear. I'd like more of these therapy sessions between us.
I didn't know you needed therapy, but I'm happy to oblige.
Vincent just kind of, I don't know, he doesn't have anything to say to that. He just turns around and starts walking down. And then the back of your head, he's like, but you do know we do need to talk about your anger.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we all could use a bit of therapy. I think that's why we're a family. It's like Matilda start.
Very true.
Bladebeak is in the process of jaws of lifing Killian out of this catapult.
It is lifted up and off of you as the energy from Bladebeak just extends the neck, and you scurry up from under.
Matilda's waiting, but she feels bad because she can't help.
Vincent kind of looks around. This is odd. Usually when we defeat a boss, he leaves us
Oh,
some sort of item falls down. Okay, something's not quite right here. Vincent wants to do
Maybe
like
it's
a
not over.
perception scan of the area.
Roll perception.
Twelve.
12. You begin to look around, awaiting like any kind of call, and as you sit in the open air, you hear boom, boom. Everybody roll a wisdom saving.
oh.
Again.
As if I went to stand right beside Vincent.
He can be your outlet.
Oh, there we go.
Vincent, you were enraged. Matilda, nothing. Jojo, you were enraged. Killian, you were enraged. Vincent, you were enraged again. Because I got the wrong number before.
Am I standing beside an enraged mimic? This is gonna suck.
Bladebeak as a construct is immune to this effect. The mimic, thank you.
Jojo,
Baka.
roll a wisdom saving throw.
Hmm?
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
I did.
No, another one for me, please.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's gonna be a fail for sure.
He doesn't. You like screeching, horrible howls like rage out in the back of your head,
Ow.
and you take 17 psychic damage. And
Okay.
you're forced to use your reaction to run away from me
Um,
up to your full speed.
yes. Let me just double check my wild surge. Hits you with an attack roll. Okay, you're good. You don't take that damage. Sorry, you said it was 17 psychic?
Yeah.
We need to stay in initiative.
Initiative has ended. However, Vincent has already gone. Jojo, you are enraged. However, Vincent turns towards you and psychically lashes you. You need to now run away from Vincent.
For my full movement?
Yeah.
Okay. Bop, bop.
As you reach here. Skeleton jumps out of the mud, grabs onto you, and as it like latches onto your body, you basically like with your knee just tear through it, and the bottom half of the body spins as you reach
Like a
here.
Gary.
As you reach here, and you leave the range of the Dragon Knight. The body arm breaks. You see the bone spur at the base of it fall into a whip. It turns and slashes at you from the distance.
Whoa! No, thank
The whip
you.
takes itself up and just rakes across your back. You take 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
The body, one arm, the other one lifts up. The rest of it just slowly raises itself up, and as it rests now on the tail, the entire body is just a puppet from this one central tube of like draconic musculature. We
That's
find
one
ourselves
force
once again
damage.
Rolling initiative.
One force damage for the Dragon Knight.
One, beautiful. Let me see. Where are you? Skeleton's in here too now.
Heroism makes you immune to other things too, right?
Heroism is gone,
Ended.
though.
Yeah.
Oh!
But
Never
no,
mind
it only makes you immune to fear.
Oh, okay.
Actually, here's what I'm going to say instead. Before we get to initiative, Matilda, who succeeded in this check? Just Matilda?
Just Matilda.
Killian, what do you do? As you see Jojo begin to run towards you, Matilda behind you, the mimic approaching, Paka is just enraged, and he begins to move in. He jumps and tries to grab onto you. What do you do?
And sorry, this is Damon's first encounter with this effect. So what is going on right now? I'm enraged, which means I attack the nearest thing in sight.
Yes, you attack the nearest thing in sight, and you want it dead.
And friend or foe, right? Like,
Does not
Yeah.
matter.
I don't discern. Would that mean that I don't consider Bladebeak an ally, so I can't command him to do things?
Ooh, I think Bladebeak is your weapon, more so than it is a creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's part of who you are.
All right. Well, then in that case, because Killian doesn't actually have her like melee weapon anymore. She, like the Enthian longsword was taken, and we never got those back, as from what I understand. So she just kind of like snarls as Paka comes close to her, and like points at him to signify that Bladebeak should attack him. Force empowered rend, 11.
11. Paka jumps and fucking spins in the air, raises arms out, dodges Bladebeak, lands on your face, and just goes, ha! As it begins to scratch aggressively. Paka brings his own claws out for the first time.
I want him to do like 1 damage and be like, oh, it's so
Aw.
cute.
You basically like bring your hands up and are holding Paka back as the arms are just aggressively trying to claw down at you. And then Paka, Killian! Who did this to you? You're nothing. Not hit. And then Matilda, you are watching as people begin to go mad from this song once more.
Do I get attacked by this mimic?
The mimic does not attack you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Save too. Interesting. Or he's immune to it.
Oh, I'm bloody, by the way.
Buddy?
Jojo running away,
well.
and then does she get an attack off, or is Vincent's attack too like detrimental?
Fast. Too fast.
As JoJo was running, I think she was probably a little bit too distracted. And the closest thing now, as initiative begins, is the Dragon Knight or the skeleton that she already fucking kicked into oblivion just by running through it.
So,
Everyone roll
question.
initiative and then question.
You know that 5-second MMA fight where they just knee to the face, instant knockout?
That was it. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
The smart thing is this thing jumped in front of a raging bull as it was charging. That was the good idea it had.
Is the
And
Dragon
I'll hit
Knight
this
back?
It's
Yeah.
like its
Dragon Knight
tail came out like a skeleton, crawled out of it, and is now attacking us.
The body of whatever this thing is now the armor. The Dragon Knight turns its
Oh.
attention towards you, Jojo, and actually from a safe distance of here, cycles over. You see the thing like a snake, the arms and legs just moving according to whatever this creature's inner shell is. It slithers along the ground, and as it stands, the arm limp just pulls back, and the whip, using the arm and the whip as the whip, just rips forward and then rakes across the ground, and then up towards your body. In your rage, you turn around, and as the whip rakes forward, you dodge out of the way to the left. It brings it up, goes down for a second attack. Right down the face. From here, directly down, just raked through.
Right down
you
the
take-
eye.
That is another 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay, halved. I'm still raging, I'm assuming.
And with that force damage.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, as they whip out and lash down her eye, just the blue warbling around her just like immediately shoots down the whip and it like gets them in the face as well. Like tat for tat. It's like whiplash back and forth. Yeah.
The force moves directly through the creature's body. You see the head like rake back, and then the tail underneath quivers. That was that first attack. It moves over here and then descends into the mud.
Is it still lit up from my branding smite? When
Ooh,
it disappears
interesting.
into the muck.
Well, branding spite requires concentration, I think.
Let me check.
Keep the ongoing effects. I thought all the smite spells did.
Right, yes,
Verbal
it is an
concentration.
ongoing effect.
Okay.
In that case, you were hit by the trebuchet and then concentration. So roll for me a concentration check.
Well, heroism, would that have overridden heroism?
Heroism would have ended, yeah.
It would have, yes, which I removed heroism.
Okay.
Okay,
Did
cool.
Frighten come back?
I thought I had rolled
No.
a concentration when all the damage had happened.
You scroll.
Yes,
up
I
and
did.
success.
I rolled a 16.
16. Success.
Yeah.
Okay, so Branding Smite continues. You actually see as it moves down into the water, light begins to shine out. It moves to right here before it reveals itself and does not have advantage on this tackle. Actually, it would have to be next to you in this instance. As it brings itself, it pops back up, surprised to see that you see it, and then that whip comes down for one final attack.
If it's gonna hit, then Bladebeak will superimpose.
I think Bladebeak needs to be within... Oh, yeah, just within 5 feet of you. Right?
Yep.
Not 5 feet of the attacker. Beautiful.
I'll
Imposing...
confirm just to make sure.
Oh.
No, it is within 5 feet of... the defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see that is within 5 feet of it. So you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So in this case, no disadvantage.
No
The
disadvantage.
whip comes through, like pulling itself up out of the blood and leaves just a trail of this just brackish blood across as it sweeps up your back as you are distracted with Paka, who then jumps off of you. You take, that is 9 points of slashing damage. And then that is the end of the creature's turn. The mimic is just like, fuck this.
I remain concentrating.
So, Killian, you are now.
Okay. So you said it went back into the muck?
No, now
Or-
it stands before you.
Okay. I'm still enraged.
Enraged? Oh no, you are not.
Am I?
I thought you were. You're just like, I'm a barbarian now. No, you are not anymore.
Okay. Does that effect only last one attack?
You guys seem to come to lucidity relatively quickly.
Okay. All right. Well, Killian's. Still enraged, just not mechanically. She's gonna send Bladebeak to attack him, but first he's gonna pull out her rifle and shoot twice. And she knows that she's in disadvantage, but that's fine. Relatively. Boom. Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
I accidentally
Killian
had
is hit.
myself selected. Yeah, would you like to do any of these things? No, I'm good. Does a 20 hit?
Ooh, 20 with disadvantage. That hits. Good roll damage. You take aim at the body, and you can see that's just lifeless husk. You begin to move your aim a little bit more down to where like the actual draconic form is centering, and you take your shot point blank.
Not
6
great.
damage.
6 damage.
Shooting
but I've got- oops.
Directly through it, kind of coils for a moment, and this just heinous pain.
I give it another taste.
This is perfect. It is going to use its reaction. You see the entire body split down the middle. Both of the arms are now off to the side, and it's just this mass of teeth attached to a dragon's tail that reaches back and goes to bite and swallow you.
That was a miss, right?
You missed, yes.
Okay, yeah.
The teeth come in, go to grab, arms come to the side, rifle off, and you manage to actually hold the mouth at bay, and it's now just above you, attempting to eat you.
Right.
Is that the end of your turn?
No, my bonus action is that Bladebeak is going to leap on top of it and just start sawing the rest of it down the middle, wherever it's kind of at the thinnest point.
Ooh, 24 hits.
Wanna know how I got these scars? Ah!
I don't think there's gonna be much left of them.
8 force damage.
8 force damage. Ugh. Vincent's right. There's not much left of it. It's you just begin to tear down the center of this like draconic tail. This just dragon tube. I think that's the end of your turn. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to
Bladebeak
move
was over here.
Bladebeak. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Mo is
Alright.
just like, aha, my plan, and begins to fly forward, but can't get that close.
As Mo goes to move forward, I just literally touch him by the wings and I yank him back almost a little bit too hard. Don't touch him. He's mine.
Okay. Would you like me to help you with that, Master?
Vincent's eyes, there's something odd about them. This effect that has had on him is not put him in a good mood.
He just nods and uncharacteristically like backs away and just begins to hover, holding onto his staff again. And it is your turn.
Vincent's gonna take a couple steps forward. And use a bonus action on this individual so I can mind connect with him. As he uses his unsettling words.
Oh, 5.
And in the back of his head, with the unsettling words, it's basically just going to almost like aggressively ting out with like reverberations. I don't know if it's you, whoever the fuck is in control of this level. Don't you ever take control of me again. And then the shadows around him are going to warp and sizzle as he casts Shatter on him.
Shatter is a 20-foot radius?
Yeah, let me throw it down.
10-foot radius.
Nice.
Entire ground. You guys look down and you see the water begin to like bubble out. Like there's a central just base underneath, and then the entire area just explodes with thunderous force. 17
17
this.
thunder damage. It's a con saving throw, I think, but he's a -5 to the save.
As this sound rings out through the battlefield. That was how much damage? 17. It
17.
used its last legendary resistance to attempt to break through this.
It takes half the max.
Yeah, so that'll be 8. Okay. Anything with your bonus?
I use my bonus for Unsealing Words. And I will end my turn.
Kill. Matilda, you were up.
Okie dokie. Alright. I am. Oh. Okay. I am going to move, so that's 5. And I'm gonna stay here. And I'll eaty beaty them. Oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong thing. Am I at disadvantage still?
They're not prone anymore. Let me remove that. So you should be good. You can just do a normal shot.
Okay. Does the 19 hit?
No.
What?
19. Boom, slams into the body. You see the
What?
arm like reel back, and this whatever this thing is in the center just like stitches its mouth back together, and then using this hulking form of a humanoid as meat shield.
They're fucking real beefy. What the fuck is this bullshit? I'll go to hit them again. Come on. Ah! Same roll.
19. Boom, slams
Yeah.
into the other side of the body, and you can see like chunks of flesh just begin to wilt from this magical damage that's being pumped through it, but it remains vigorous.
Alright. 20. 25. There, I'll end my turn. Oh, as a bonus action, am I allowed to put my corks in my ears?
Oh, deafen yourself?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll just say that's an
Yeah.
item interaction.
Yeah, and I put my corkies in my ears so I can't hear any more crazy bell noises.
Deafen yourself. And at the end of your turn, you cycle behind this wall. Paka's turn. You.
Oh, I do want to remind everybody I never took my corks back, so you all still have
Okay.
them.
Thank you.
You are my friend! It runs over to the other side of Killian, and now jumps up. You see he grabs a little dagger, runs in, and tries to plant it into the body of this creature. And just bounces off the armor that's on the body rather than even going for the individual like flesh underneath, and then kind of just begins to runs off to the side, trying to get out of range. Jojo, you are up.
Okay, Jojo is going to take out my javelin for a turn. Is this the right one? Yeah. And I'm gonna toss it. Normal. Ooh, 13. That's a miss.
Boom, bounces off. Voop.
Oh, bounces off. Okay, yeah. Goes back in her hands. She's gonna toss it again. That's a 21.
21. The second shot lands directly in the flesh, breaking through the misshapen dragon.
That's 12 piercing damage.
12.
It's magical, by the way.
Perfect. The creature, as this javelin rakes through the bottom, you pull it back, and it almost like slips and falls into the mud. You see the body itself, the arms that were shot by the eldritch blasts, one just falls off, the other falls off, and there's nothing left of the torso practically but these metal plates, as the rest of it all just manages to melt away. You see this central form of a draconic worm. The top has two beady eyes that are just like desperately looking in all directions, and the central mouth goes from the back up, down, and through to the rest of the head.
Ooh.
And it just sits there, glancing over towards all of you. This pitiful creature is all that remains, barely living.
That's my turn.
On its turn, goes over here, dives into the mud. Killian, this time,
Leave my foot range.
the light dissipates. Then reappear.
I guess because it
Here.
teleported.
House is a teleport. Yeah.
The light appears before you, Vincent. And once again, it does not have any form of advantage on this because you're actually following the light as it bubbles up from the water. It's going to reach back. The mouth opens. A concentrated stream of poison breath flies in towards you. Can I get anybody else with this?
You can try to get Mo.
Can't go any further. Will this get Mo? Probably. Oh, Matilda, I need you and Vincent to both roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yikes, okay.
Nine.
Matilda, you succeed. Vincent, you take. That's 21 points of poison damage.
Ooh.
In this form, you are not poisoned. The breath begins to seep into your body, and you can feel it burning at your lungs. The creature is then going to lets out these just pained gasps, and you can see the inside of its mouth scorched by its own poisonous fumes. Last legs. Killian, you are up.
All right. Is this a straight shot, or is this like a raised area?
No, straight shot.
Okay.
You got this, Killian.
Killian will walk forward a couple steps.
As you reach air,
Hey, I was just gonna say.
skeleton
no.
pulls itself out of the just red muck, and just with a short sword attempts to plant it directly into your chest. Go ahead and see.
Fuck this blood, man. This blood sucks.
Mhm.
No blood, guys. No blood.
The short sword just bounces off of your armor and like reels back before shatters it off to the side of its own bony spur and then just slams it into your chest. You take 6 points of piercing damage.
All right. Yeah. Not even close, baby. That is a con save, though. Still good.
Beautiful.
All right.
Just double checking. Killian is not scared, right? Because you have the icon on you. I'm just wondering.
No, I don't have the ability to like remove a bunch of icons, but
Okay.
yeah, they've just been stacking up over the course of this session. So Killian is going to, because this thing just like dug into her chest, she's actually going to kind of like bring the rifle around underneath its armpit and then use her other hand to like wrap around and almost like hug the creature and like kind of shoot past it. Kind of like holding the rifle awkwardly. And just going to take 2 shots at the snake thingy.
Worm dragon.
Worm dragon.
Sounds like a cool name.
That is only a 15.
15 slams into the side of the body and just boom, bounds off the scales.
All right, shot number 2. Ah,
Ooh.
nope.
Second shot, boom, boom, 2 of them, boom, boom, bounce right off the body.
Annoyed, Killian just shouts like, Bladebeak, the other one, and like making sure that Bladebeak isn't just gonna like start attacking the one that's like stabbing her, and gonna try and get, yeah. Let's see if something else explodes out of the muck here.
Oh, it's paused, Adrian. You gotta pause it.
Oh, sorry. You run directly up to the Dragon Knight. Nothing.
Yeah.
Circle around
Perfect.
Paka, landing there safely.
All right, Rend.
Ooh. It just
Zillion worm.
dodges out of the way.
All right, that's Killian's turn.
Beauty. Mo looks onwards towards Vincent and says, "At your leave," and you are up.
So as the like poison cloud is still like circling around in front of Vincent, I feel like it's starting to dissipate. He's going to thematically gather it. It's going to kind of like seep and turn black as it like shivers out from his mouth. And he is going to have it he'll go down. The cloud will move over and envelop this person and kind of like, or the little worm thing, and kind of like shroud it and send like screeches into its mind, as it'll do a dissonant whispers.
Ooh.
I need it to roll.
Save.
The thematics behind it was for his bonus action for his unsettling words. So let me just roll that quickly.
My music died.
-5 to the save.
Ah, I see. As you blast this creature with psychic energy, tell me what happens.
Basically that I picture like the poison smoke around Vincent turns black and then just like seeps from him over to the worm and envelopes him and weakens him, and then the unsettling words screech through his mind, and then he almost like the smoke almost like goes. I don't know if worms have ears, but any orifices that it does, it like almost goes into its body and like shreds it from the inside out, and it just like, but it's like psychically, and then it falls over basically.
As the creature literally just blows up from the inside out, the eruption of viscera flies forward towards you and Bladebeak. Bladebeak is just like splattered slightly before it just like nicely falls off the polished chassis. This skeleton that was in hiding over here just gets uprooted and just scattered off to the side as the explosion erupts, and then Carson kind of reaches a hand out and just kind of blocks the individual pieces before they manage to hit you, and he drops them to the ground in front of you before dispersing himself into the darkness. From the body of the creature, as it finally hits the ground, and just this heinous form, this malformed beast, just lays writhing for a moment before it lays silent. The ash individual scales pull off and begin to flitter away as the entire form dissipates and small globes of energy fly towards each of you. Everybody roll me a D100.
I would really like for Matilda to get like the best loot when she did fucking nothing in this.
I wouldn't say you did nothing. You actually did. I gave you average damage for each of the Eldritch Blasts while it was on the ground too. I made them automatic hits, so it took a fair chunk of damage from those.
You did get the highest roll, so
86. That's an A where I come from.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
Hey!
Holy moly.
It
So,
was almost
Vincent-
the better number in reverse.
Killian, do you
but-
have an inspiration?
No.
Take mine. Reroll that shit.
Okay. Yeah.
You see Vincent like after the smoke kind of
Yeah.
clears, he's like doing his eye like a little closer up, and he seems to have calmed down a lot. And then the back of Jojo's head is like, maybe we should discuss this. My apologies for what happened.
Fucking great job.
Is this what's impressed you? This is easy.
So Killian, which number do you choose? The 17 or the 35?
I gotta go with the higher number, 35.
35, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the higher number, Bill.
I gotta go for it, man.
Beautiful.
I mean, 17 is my jersey number, but I gotta go with the better loot box.
I do peek out from behind the wall because I am deafened, and I'm like, is the battle over? What happened?
A small globe like floats in front of you, and you're like, oh.
Is the skeleton stabbing me gone as well? Or is he still
It
doing
is.
his thing? Okay.
The skeleton is the body of this thing dissipates, but not only that, I'm gonna say this: Matilda with keen mind and being able to actually like see the most of the battlefield, and Vincent with your passive perception, you also clock the location of the other creatures as the bubbling blood underneath reveals their locations.
So they all disappeared when the boss died. Interesting.
They are all here.
Mm.
There, this one is here.
We found all the ones over here.
Yep.
I do like to think that Matilda like peered over and was just like pew and like shot the, the last skeleton guy.
Explodes.
Yeah.
And as you all look onwards, the Jojo
Mhm.
and Matilda, both of you gain a potion of superior healing.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
No!
That is Jojo and Matilda. I'm deleting you. Vincent with a 96. Your orb flies towards you and splits into two.
Ooh,
Ow.
So
double trouble.
you have an option. You can take one or the other, left or right.
Can I insight the orbs?
No. Your passive insight of 19, you're just like, I know these
I already rolled a
globes
good
are...
number. Why do I have to choose?
You get two good things.
Oof, I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 and 2 is left, and 3 and 4 is right. I guess. I don't know if there's no difference between them. I rolled a 4, so it must be the right one because it's right, right?
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely. Why do you say correct? I'm gonna make this worse than it is. '96 was tricky. You reach out and you grab the orb, and it begins to form itself into a flask. This fine flask with faint bits of draconic scales along the bottom, and the interior constantly bubbling. With the top cork being like a cork, but in the center is the very top, like curled, bony finger of a dragon's claw.
Ooh.
And then as you hold this thing, like a copper banding within it, it is called the Dragon's Breath Flask.
Ah, yes, with that morning breath.
It smells gross. With the flask in hand, a passage comes to mind. Second Knight Valor, crushed in her own armor, and by a friend no less. The song must have an end. Quote by The Walker. Open this flask to unleash a 10-foot radius cloud of magical gas that takes the form of a dancing dragon, centered at a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners, and its area is lightly obscured. It lasts for 1 minute, or until a wind of moderate or greater speed disperses it. Once the property of this flask has been used, it cannot be used again until the next dawn. Creatures that begin their turns within the sphere or move into the sphere's space for their first time, DC 14 con save, 3d6 acid damage. On your turn, as an action, if you are within 5 feet of the cloud, you can click the top of the flask to ignite it. All creatures within the cloud must succeed on a DC 16 dex save or take 46 fire damage, or half as much on a successful save.
So
It's a little tricky.
So you use it to release a cloud around yourself, which is poisonous. Do you have to roll those saves then? Because
You create it in front of you. Basically, you create a cloud of like sentient gas dragon, and then as an action on your turn, you can spark it and it explodes for 46 damage.
How big is the radius?
It is a 10-foot radius cloud.
Is it attunement?
The flask does not require it to.
Okay. So it's just kind of like a
Sure? Yes, it does not require to.
Okay.
It's like a new action you have, basically.
So it costs an action to uncork it and then another action to ignite it.
You uncork it, the cloud itself does damage. It does 3d6 poison damage. But you can read through that one on your leisure.
Okay.
Or acid damage, rather, not poison. And then the last person, Killian. Shirking your jersey number means that you get nothing. With a 35, you reach forward and you grab a potion of greater healing.
Right.
Worth an inspiration, I think.
Kellyanne just like, it like plops into her hand. She's like, oh, good. It's just like, just sitting at like a less than a fifth of her max health.
As you all look onwards towards this area, you can see the just jagged and destroyed terrain. Once again, you've noticed some peculiar things. The area that you stand on as you begin to look, and Matilda, with your passive investigation, you kind of like hobble yourself against this stone wall, and you're just sitting there as you realize that the fight has come to an end. You look down and you can see these just like little indents in the ground. Looking around at the blood and the area of the stone, the destruction around you, it is strikingly similar to the area of the camp.
Oh.
Stone walls are placed almost in the exact same position. The rolling of the hill like leads up towards the same thing. The forest to the north is just destroyed, but similar. As you turn around and look west, you see a redwood forest burning with azure flame, literally being incinerated as we speak. To the east, you see a pathway leading off to a cliff, and with the trees destroyed, you see a nearly fallen watchtower. through the just gnarled branches into the north, you see a pathway leading up to, but closer to, a marble city, stained with blood.
So is Matilda's like math meme brain understanding is the fact that we're kind of repeating the same area, but we seem to be getting closer and closer to the city.
Seems like it.
Through perspective. Does it seem like we were hooped? Are we actually on a different floor?
This, from what you understand, like, there's no way to tell for sure.
Okay.
But you have passed through an ash gate and you felt like the transition. So you know that you're somewhere. But the next floor and adjacent floor, a different thing, you don't know. This is the first you've experienced something of this kind.
Mo, can you come over here?
Yes, master. He comes over without question.
He passes him the Dragon's Burst Flask. Please release this, stand in the radius, and blow it up. I want to see something. He takes
Moves
a step
over
back.
here. Roll persuasion.
Tells him to trust him. 18.
Never steered me wrong before. He creates a 10-foot radius. First, when he creates the smoke, it appears in front of him. And then he moves himself into it. And then looks over towards you through the green smoke for a moment before he takes the flask and shiveringly... the entire thing goes up in this just arcane green flame. So that's 3d6 acid damage as soon as he enters in.
Oh, is it acid damage? I misread that. I thought it was poison. Never mind. I wouldn't have made him do this.
Do you have it on your character sheet? Probably not. Here, let me check.
Acid damage? Yeah, I misread it as poison. My bad.
Okay, I was like very confused by this whole thing, so you were just like, it's time to kill Mo.
No,
I was like, but okay.
I wanted to make sure this worked because I know he mentioned before he was immune to poison and fire damage. I wanted to give it a quick test, but acid will hurt him. We can still have this go off, but this will be a different thing.
So you want him to step in the acid and blow up?
I said so.
Okay, 3d6 acid. Okay. Mo takes 8 points of acid damage, and then the explosive, just green flame tears around him, and as it dissipates, you see Mo standing there. It's like most of his body is covered in these just chemical burns, and he's standing there holding the flask as he corks it, and you see on the inside the liquid begin to bubble up in the flask, like creating itself. Then he like flies over towards you, and he's like, "I'm sorry if I offended you." And he hands the flask back.
No, as he finishes up, Vincent will cast Healing Word on him. Oh yeah, it's a bonus action. I always forget that. You regain 6 hit points.
6 hit points. He recovers almost back to full. He says, "That's a bit better. Thank you for the mercy."
And then in the back of his head, he's like, Carson.
Carson appears.
You said that devils were immune to this fire and poison, right?
Poison, yes. Fire, yes.
Well, clearly that's not the case.
Clearly. And he looks over towards Mo and is just like smiling. My mistake. I'll make sure to check my facts next time.
Well, you can keep that. Just stay out of it. I think it'll be good use on you.
Yeah, that's a good use on Mo. He holds on to the flask. Let me add that to his character sheet and his growing list of descriptions.
Then he'll walk over to the rest of the party. So what's the plan? Are we still heading to the city, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so.
Do we want to take a small rest on this lovely little battlefield? It's a nice green glow by that tree.
Can we maybe go a little bit by the path in the forest just in case this resets every hour? Like the other one? This is a carbon copy of the last map we were on.
The last map.
Oh, sorry. The last floor. The last floor we were on.
Okay.
Do you think that
I broke the fourth
Yeah.
wall of their nosebleeds.
we never actually killed anyone on the last floor, but we did on this one? So would our lantern not work?
I see no reason why it wouldn't work, but
I did consider on the last floor if maybe when all the soldiers like died, if we should have just, ended like for sure killed them, and then maybe they wouldn't have come back.
You mean like stab the dust? I don't know what we would
Yeah,
do first.
there was a wolf man there. He was iffy, the window
Yeah,
and everything.
okay.
Either way, Vincent will start walking over to like where Matilda wanted to go, like a safe area off to the side kind of thing.
Away from any creepy blood on the ground, please.
DM, can I possibly make some sort of some check to sort of see? It seems like the Lodemnians and the Soul Rot were doing better in the war, and then this seems to be chronologically after that, and it seems like Nth is like pushing out and stealing around. Can I like make some check to like see if I'm correct in my thoughts there?
Roll investigation with advantage. Or, once again, Dragon Chess proficiency.
Hell yeah. Love that dragon chess proficiency.
It's literally like warfare tactics. I like
Yeah. Sorry, that was investigation with advantage, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 18?
Chronologically speaking, as you begin to kind of pour over the information you have, Nth was being... This seems to be like an assault by Lodem. Lodem is moving in towards Nth. Based on like your guys you've seen the map pointing towards like Lodem to the south, Nth to the north. Traveling north like repeatedly through these areas has been leading you closer and closer to Nth, and Lodem has been traveling. The knights who were encamped in the last camp were basically, based on how lightly provisioned they were, you ascertain that they're probably some kind of forward advance troop that were just wiped out. And then as you continue moving closer to Nth and the closer you get to the front, the more Lodemnian soldiers you see that are being destroyed. In fact, as you focus in, thinking about those dead who had attacked you previously, you actually recall a flash of the symbol of the crowned tree frog on the armor as you just slammed through that skeleton from before. It feels to you like Nth's last line of defense. Their best, the best of the best are coming out to meet the rest of the army in battle.
Okay. The best of the best being those 5 Enthian Valor. Was there 5 of them or 6? Can't remember. Probably.
Probably is a good answer. Vincent and Carson begin setting up tents in the corner.
It's still in combat, so I can't move.
I will end.
Yeah,
that.
5.
Killian gives herself a juicy 2nd level cure wounds. And kind of slowly gets onto Bladebeak in such a way that it won't aggravate any of her other myriad wounds.
As you approach camp on Bladebeak and slide off, Vincent will prestidigitation you clean because you're covered in the ground blood and your own blood and the enemy's blood. So, and hand you some tea.
I will just, if you guys are planning on a long rest, I will point out that
Not a long rest. I just did this. I just drew because I was bored. We don't
Gotcha.
have tent up. We just
Yeah,
have maybe
it's-
a small fire.
it's like 16 hours before you can begin a long rest, and then it would be another 8 to finish it.
And we're just short resting. We're my
Yeah.
friends.
It's just a small fire for a short rest. It's fine.
Thanks,
There's
Vince.
lots of dead, dry bramble around. So
Oh yeah.
Vincent's thought was just to burst a tree in, but Carson convinced him that wouldn't last very long, nor be very ethical to put tea over.
Just saying, Jojo moves this cannon. He's like away from our camp.
Just gonna point that.
Just classic cannon safety. Don't face it towards your camp.
When the other skellies dropped, did they drop anything, or were they just like, and they fell in love?
You guys
Fell in
killed
love.
3 of those, yeah, and then they fell in love. 3 of them dropped. Each of them dropped a gemstone.
Nice. More cores. We get to take a short rest each.
Already added those. You guys begin your short rest.
Also,
You have, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say you guys have 1 hour, so I need somebody to roll a d100.
I was just gonna say, Paka was in that fight with us. Did he get a loot drop?
Paka did not hit the enemy,
He tried to bring a
tried
dagger in.
and it bounced off.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Hey, so you actually have to
poor
do
buddy.
damage to the
Wait,
enemy?
he hit him with the cannon.
We hit him with the cannon. I'm gonna roll a d100 for Paka.
Because like there is going to be the potential of like a person not physically doing damage, but maybe like affecting them with a spell or doing something else in the meantime. Are they not gonna is this something we're noticing as a trend? Like you need to do damage?
No, you just need to have affected the enemy, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
However, Paka gains a potion of greater healing.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyone want to give him an inspiration?
Give him a bardic
Fresh
inspiration.
out.
Will not do, unfortunately. Oh yes, Paka has now gone to 3 columns on his character sheet. Leveling up,
Yeah.
buddy.
I'm assuming you're doing a Song of Rest, right? How much do we get from that?
Let's see. 2 extra health. And
Ooh.
As everyone is standing here, bloody as all fucking like tending their wounds, Paka's just like holding a sandwich, being looking around. Has not taken a point of damage in the last 2 combats.
So also
That's
by
good.
when we regained our long rest, we only regain half our hit dice. So
Mhm.
like just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
when you
I know.
long rest.
Does it automatically fill them if you're?
It should. Yeah.
It should on D&D Beyond, if you as long as it's checked, but it's always good to just keep track of that manually because I find sometimes it's a bit hinky.
Man, I go through hit points like nobody's business.
You're telling
Welcome
me.
to being the tank.
Yeah.
That
I'm like
was-
89 hit points, never gonna die. I'm like bloody every
Are
single
you
fight.
kidding me? Yeah, that's what happened to Tara too. Like,
Yeah.
you're there to be the sponge, man.
Get sponged.
Our job is to keep you up and taking those hits. So like that's why it's super important that narratively you guys let me know so that I can keep you guys up.
You gotta say those things in an eerie, ominous, whispery Matilda voice so that they're canon.
Did I heal Candace? No, I healed Killian. Yeah.
Oh.
Heal
You know what?
me, yeah.
I'm also gonna do an arcane recovery. 'Cause I'm a wizard, yo. Oh wait, did I cast a spell?
No, not that I know of. In this
Well,
combat.
Never mind. It felt like I had cast a spell, but I did
I'm
not.
a wizard.
I definitely planned to cast a spell, and then I was like, actually,
Jojo,
catapult.
Jojo, that wizard guy's not here. You don't have to show up. No, you're.
I just really want to bring out my giant wizard hat. Just kidding, I left that at home.
Thank God.
Thank Altisha. Jesus.
Good save. Thank Altisha. Jesus.
It still said Jesus. Who's Jesus?
Tamara said Jesus.
Oh, I'm not bloody anymore. I think I might be able to remove it. I just can't add it. Effects. Bloodied. Get out of here.
And I need someone to roll me a D100.
Oh, I do it.
Yep.
98.
Oh, beautiful.
I wish
Thank
I had
you.
that a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, awesome new dice from Rollsmith. I'm not sponsored. They're just cool.
Like a the Rollsmith.
You do a Song of Rest.
Yeah, you gain 2 extra hit points.
Nice.
And we'll get
Stops.
better guys, but you gotta wait till Vincent gets up to level 12. So, you know.
So far
the more he
away.
gets, the more powerful he gets, the better shit you guys get. This is how this works.
Quid pro
Just
quo.
trickle down economics.
It very much is with Vincent, to be honest. Most of his abilities are trickle down.
Pull down
Down level
evocation.
nomics.
Does anything happen on the short rest, Adrian?
Nothing happens. You guys have a nice little short rest.
I think something good should happen.
I don't. I think the blood fields and the death field that you're currently in, the azure burning forest to the south, remains only partially immolated.
That sort of reminds me. It reminds me of like walking to work one morning when I was like living in Chinatown in Vancouver, and I was like, "Oh, look how pretty the street, like the sidewalk is. It's so sparkly." And then Nick's like, "It's sparkly because of all the broken window glass." And I'm like, "That's beautiful."
You really
Gotta
gotta
be on the bright side.
look on the bright side of life. Yeah,
Yeah,
as
the sharp side and cutty side. It's very bright, but it's very ouch.
don't walk on the sharp side of the sidewalk. As you finish your short rest, you all stand and Carson begins to disassemble the camp, placing it back comfortably and carefully, putting a stogie in your mouth, Killian, and going to light it.
What is this?
It's a stogie. I thought
Do I
you might
eat
like
it?
it. Well, you've got the grit to you. I figured maybe this could help you, like an image boost. You don't eat it, no. Well, you could. It's just not a good idea.
Okay.
He lights it. He says, "No, you don't even need to breathe in. You just go." Smoke
Yeah,
like
like
just
her-
vaguely leaves.
Like, she's got her like buck teeth. It's like she's not really sure what to do with her mouth, so she's...
Excellent. He just takes it back.
As I
puts
feel
it
like as
out.
Carson takes it back and turns around, Vincent's just got an eyebrow raised to him.
He turns around, looks over towards you, and as soon as like he's clear, he's just like,
So he looks at him and he points at the scar and then he points at himself.
he brings it over to you and he's like, "Would you like a puff?"
You might as well not waste it. Those are expensive.
He hands it to you. Gives a nod of the head. Kind of just using his fingernails, cuts off the edge of the stogie, and then kind of re-tapers the edge before lighting it and handing it to you.
Vincent will finish it off. As he's like smoking it, his cheeks, it's not exhaling normally. It's like incandescent glows and it's seeping out. It's neat looking.
I believe if you had previously mentioned that this floor is a carbon copy, then I suppose the north is the way to go. Though that's curious.
If we, had
Does
the
look
ring-
closer than before.
if we had the rings of the pale, like all of us, we could go through the forest and not need to worry about the fire, right?
Perhaps.
Yes, but
Fortunately,
not all of us get great loot drops, Jojo. I can't.
I'm just saying, if we went and like did that fight a bunch of times and all got rings of the pale, we could do this and maybe there'd be something cool. I'm just saying for another time, we don't need to do it now.
We could put out a call for aid. It's very easy, like third floor stuff. We can just get someone else to do it and pay them. We'll figure it out later. Either way,
They would get the credit.
for what? Defeating a boss on the third floor?
Oh, you just mean for that. Well, I don't care about that. I thought you meant send them into the fireplace where it's unknown. I'm like, hell no.
To go get our bracelets for us.
Okay.
And Vincent will like finish smoking the cigar and kind of put it out. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, I'm ready.
North it is, I guess.
Let's go.
And he'll prestitation the fire out.
Dissipates, and the last little bits of embers flitter out of life, and you all begin to move to the north. Are you traveling along the road or through the gnarled forest?
The road probably again, right?
Vincent sees both of them as equal opportunities, so he'll follow wherever his comrades want to go.
The road we at least won't get lost.
You
Yeah,
all
say the
begin-
road.
You begin to travel down the blood-soaked roadway. The skeleton. I'm just kidding. You continue walking down the solid cobble steps.
Does he need to throw stones again, like the flowers?
The skeleton leaps
He
out
just-
and then has a gun in his hand, and a little bang comes out of it, and then he falls back into the.
He goes and it just falls back. You'll see him 15 times throughout the campaign. It'll be great.
Is this, spooky jump scares house?
Yeah.
You continue down the pathway, long and winding. After your hour-long rest and your 5-hour-long travel before, you guys are looking at the city and roughly how far it is from right now. You'll have to push through about 2 more hours of travel if you want to get there before needing to take a long rest.
That'd be con saves, right?
Actually, elucidate me. I'm trying to remember. When did you guys take your long rest previously?
Right
Right
after
before-
the Raven Wing encounter.
Okay, and then you traveled towards the
Yeah, we
Ashgate. Yeah.
Yeah, we traveled about an hour in, rested, and then traveled another 3 or 4 hours after that.
Okay, my math was right then. I believe you guys also got lost. You ended up traveling basically 5.5, so that's 4.5 hours. Oh, you are actually very close. You will need to push through one check in order to attempt to break through the exhaustion of this long and
Okay.
labored travel.
Who see
Good.
in the back of Matilda's mind, you hear like a nice little melody go off, almost like a spring breeze. It kind of reminds you of, picnicking out in the graveyards at night sometime, and you'll gain an inspiration.
Oh, lovely. All right. Am I rolling the survival check?
No, this is for our con saving throw for exhaustion, right, Adrian?
Indeed.
All right.
Traveling down the road,
save.
no survival check needed.
Oh. Who rolled that? Oh, am I rolling? Okay.
We
sorry.
all roll.
I was
con.
very confused for a sec.
He just gave you one because he knows that he can't inspire himself, so you might as well take
It's
it.
a D6, right?
Ooh. Yes, an extra D6 if you want it.
I will take it.
Nice.
Dirty 20.
Pretty good
Goodness.
contract.
Good rolls.
You guys actively succeed, traveling
Did
just
Mimsy
effectively.
come?
Mo is just riding on top of Vincent. Ooh,
Come.
Mimsy is going with you.
Here's the thing, though. If Mimsy
Succeeded.
turns into a hand cart, doesn't it just mean Mimsy's being pushed?
Paka, as he moves, is just like, I hate this. Oh, but it's so much. The
Paka,
adventure
get in
is
the
half
cart.
the fun. Okay. He just crawls over and flops into the back of the cart. The backpack takes up most of it. It just it immediately just begins dragging on the ground, and the wheels just fall off. And then the mimic grows a mouth and is just like, fuck no.
Jojo, can you carry Paka's backpack?
Probably not.
Gives you
Thing's
another
fucking
look up and
heavy.
down. Are you sure?
I
Have you
could try.
tried?
I mean, I've definitely tried to pick it up before. I don't know how long I'll be able to carry it. It's fucking
More
heavy.
things to be like, fuck no.
Fuck no. Paka's backpack weighs roughly 265 pounds right now.
And I have a strength of 19.
Plus
Okay.
your carry capacity. What is it
Plus-
right now?
My weight carried is 105 pounds.
That alone is like you're walking for 8 hours with over 100 pounds. On your back.
Yeah.
I do that with like 60
It should
pounds in
say
my
what your
bag.
carry
It's not terrible.
capacity is under inventory. Candace, if you click on weight carried, it should say carry capacity and then push.
Carry capacity is 287.
Okay.
Too heavy. You
Okay.
can't even pick it up.
Mhm.
If you have the strength and you have the stamina, it's not terrible, but yeah, that's a lot of weight.
Paka's like, I got it. It's my job. I carry the burdens. You're bringing me to Blue, and we're all family now, so it's fine.
Oh my god.
He puts on the backpack and continues to walk. He actually picks up the mimic and flattens out the bottom of the cart and puts the wheels back on and is like, there you go. And it's just grabs onto the cart and begins to pull it with one level of exhaustion.
Hmm.
As you guys continue, about a half hour down the road, you once again just spot almost like the world rounds itself out as you pass over the edge, and you can see now the brilliant city that much closer. You hear boom, boom, boom,
shit.
boom. Begins to whoop, whoop, whoop.
Plug our ears quickly.
Roll dexterity.
Is it a save or just a check?
Just a check.
Oh, 18.
19.
Okay, let me roll for these 3. Killian, take the shot.
Oh,
Who are you gonna hit?
is that a dexterity check to put in earplugs, or don't
It was
they
just
also
a
get
dexterity check to cover your ears. Oh yes, please roll a wisdom saving throw. Killian, and oh no, oh no, oh no! The closest one to the mimic is Paka. I just narrated that.
It's been a while.
12?
Paka
Okay.
probably got up and walked away.
Wisdom save for the mimic. Oh, nat 20. Never mind.
Ooh.
Okay, Killian, take the shot.
All right,
Everybody
so
else
Killian-
manages to cover their ears or fights off this just heinous wave of attack against them.
Get the roll.
Killian would be near the front.
So would
Um,
Jojo probably, right?
Yeah, so I think she would have actually probably been further in the front because of Bladebeak, just like he doesn't get tired. So like while we're doing this like forced march, Bladebeak's just like boom, 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 boom. But I think Jojo's probably the nearest, just because you have the same speed as Bladebeak as far as that. So yeah, Killian's gonna turn around. Is it just a single action or is it a single attack? Or is it a full turn worth of attack?
It's like the best single attack you can do. So that if that's like bonus action, weaken them, action, shoot this thing. It's just that you want to spend your turn making sure that thing is dead.
Okay. Well, Killian gets a crazy look in her eyes. And is just gonna go all out.
This
Can we
crazy
do like
look
an
in your
initiative
eye.
order? If we see this happen and she turns around and she puts her gun at us and we saw this thing go off, like
Everybody, roll initiative.
I'd like to be able to get something off before she wastes all of her spell slots.
16's pretty high.
I don't have a lot of combat spell slots, so it's just gonna be all my attacks. But yeah.
Oh, Vincent, it's all up to you.
Did it not? I rolled initiative.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got 16.14.
Oh, interesting. I'm not seeing it. for some
I thought I
reason.
rolled too.
Oh.
What?
Maybe we need a reroll.
Where's yours, Vincent?
For some reason, I did roll it, but it
Oh.
like glitched out.
Oh,
18.
18. Just
yeah.
above Killian.
Okay, I guess this wave goes out. We all plug our ears, and then I see Blade.
You see that
go-
I still have my hands on the reins?
Yeah. As this goes out, and Vincent, without even thinking, just tells you to lay down as a command, because he knows you're not going to listen. So I need you to roll a wisdom saving
Another
throw for me.
wisdom saving throw.
Request.
No, you fail, man.
Oh,
Very
9. You get off Bladebeak and immediately lay down on the ground. Bladebeak turns its head around and looks towards you, like in mild, not confusion, but it's sitting here being like, logic does not add up.
Yeah. Killian hops off Bladebeak, lies down, and is just like, Bladebeak, attack Vincent.
You have to spend your whole turn doing that, though.
Yeah, your whole turn is spent jumping to the ground. So by the time you're like, Bladebeak,
There's no bonus? Oh, okay.
your mind like settles back
Okay.
as soon as you utter Bladebeak in anger.
Yeah, command takes away your whole turn.
Oh, shit. Okay, nice. Very well done.
And you guys continue on the pathway.
Vincent just
Um,
hits everyone an eye, and he's like, "I can make you all go down. Don't worry about it."
I would have spent my initiative turn even if I was before Killian putting in my earplugs. I was like, you guys are stupid.
Killian's getting her wax out of her bandolier. And
He'll
Yeah.
put his earbuds in and start playing. He needs to practice, anyways. It's been a day.
Roughly a half hour after this like final incursion on your guys' mental state, you can hear the sound of battle all around you as it begins to swell.
Can we?
Sound of
Can we, though?
people-
We're all different.
Bladebeak.
No, you can't. Bladebeak can. the things that bird has heard and seen.
Also, the mimic can because I ain't giving shit to the mimic. Sorry, dude.
It basically just stops. I mean, it can just not have ears.
Yeah.
Mo does have something. Yes, he was blind, deafened before.
I can give him I have some wax. We've got things to plug ears with. Like it's fine.
You're all good. As you approach, you see the ash gate in the distance. Sound of deafening silence rings out around you. The mimic halts for a moment, Paka looks back and just begins to drag the mimic.
Wait.
Mimsy. You approach the ash
Or-
gate. As Paka looks on towards it, you see that the center of the gate, like the same wooden one as it was before, but now the entire thing gnarled, old. You see it's almost shriveled, just sucked of all of its life, and the bottom of it is just brackish pool of blood that seems like it's been sitting there for God knows how long.
People want to
Floor
look and see
9.
like they want to talk. Vincent will connect in.
Oh, yeah. Floor 9 is supposed to be the blood floor, I think, right?
Maybe this is what they meant by it.
Okay.
I chuck a rock in the blood pool by the door. Is there anything in there?
It just settles.
Oh, you skipped it. Nice.
Vincent will look towards it and he'll attempt to freeze the ground, so we don't have to walk through
Oh, gross.
It just turns into a bloodsicle.
it. Nice. It won't make you dirty.
Paka's just
Oh, Paka, please, no.
I also eat bugs.
Matilda
you know,
won't care,
sandwiches.
But Matilda doesn't give a shit, but Tamara's like, please don't.
Yeah, Vincent will take a couple steps forward onto his stuff and then keep casting shape water in front of him so he doesn't get into the blood. If you guys don't keep up with him, you will fall in at some point.
Hmm.
Leon is going to take out her tools, and let's see. Yeah, she's just going to take the like Omni tool that is just like, it's like a Swiss Army something who's it, and she's going to kind of flick it around until it turns into essentially like an ice pick, or like the kind of thing that you'd use to like move big blocks of ice. And she's going to learn the shape water cantrip.
Nice.
For the next
Ooh.
little while. And she will follow the same. She'll kind of either make it so that it lasts a little longer so we can all go in a line, or she'll do it next to Vincent so that we have like a double walk.
Yes, there's enough room for everyone.
I tap Vincent on the shoulder. We can connect.
Jojo needs to protect her heart again, so the weird fine things don't try and stab her.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen again.
Vincent connects into Jojo and is just like, so Matilda wants your heart.
In what way? Because like that could mean like, I mean, my automatic thought behind that is like, no, like doing scientific experiments on my heart. Like I need my heart.
I understand. She's
I
just
have
more worried
one.
about the vines taking it, so she
Oh,
like, make
okay,
sure
okay.
you're safe.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. I think you guys should probably stay a little bit away from me.
Do you want to go for a swim? I don't know how deep this is.
Gross.
Does look, or maybe, yeah. I don't want to get pulled under by anything, and then you guys have to like, yeah, okay, I'll stick close to you guys, but I
Just-
be vigilant about
Just stay
vines.
near me. I have a shield I can put up if need be.
Okay.
It's just like the descent, Adrian. I hate it so much.
It will get better, I assure you.
Oh.
Before
As
it
you-
gets-
As you begin to, well, I didn't say that. As you approach the ash gate, the blood begins to kind of pool. I like to think that Killian, like when you use the tool to cast the spell, I picture, I don't know why, you just like place the top of the tool down, and then from that the ice just kind of spreads out, and then like you just like ice pick kind of going at it as you continue down the pathway. But as you reach the center of the gate, you begin to pass through. You see the ice as you are shaping water hit the gate and just stop in a perfect line. The blood behind it still liquid. But as you approach the threshold of the gate, you feel yourselves once again descend. Like being on a roller coaster, but something nefarious. And you begin to hear, not through your ears, but in your mind, the cries of the damned, the howls of those who have lost their lives, calling out to you, reaching out to you. And as you finally take your last step down, sunk down to your waist in blood.
Ugh, of
Your
course.
eyes open, you just appear here. Both Vincent and Killian can roll dexterity. See if you guys actually manage to like stay lucid through this transition and fast enough to react to keep yourself standing.
Could I gain advantage because Carson helps me?
Yeah.
Is that an ability check or a save?
Killian, you can also have advantage for Bladebeak, who's basically just like sentrying.
Yeah.
Just a check.
We're kidding. It got worse.
Both of you managed to stay on your like bloodsicle platforms as the rest of everybody else kind of like lands. Matilda, up to your kind of like just upper chest at your height, you land in the water and you can feel the ground underneath you shifting, and you find yourself as you look down just standing on the bodies of the fallen, piled so high that this river of blood allows you to be
Oh
standing.
no! This was like the time I went down the body chute at Mama Mal's place.
Vincent shapes water and like almost forces you up onto his ice bridge area, and then prestidigitation as you clean.
That's how they learned how to use baby gates and baby proofing. Because toddlers aren't supposed to fall down there.
Then he'll do
Imagine
the same thing.
Mimsy being like, "What body shoot? What is this?"
Time. And he'll do the same thing with the rest of the party to get them onto our barges.
I think Mimsy more is just like, body shoot. I'm interested. No, tell me where that is so I can avoid it, so I don't go there. I don't want to, but it's just out of curiosity. Where is that though? As you appear, how many shape waters can each of you create?
You can use shape waters, like it's cantrips. You can keep casting it. The like effects that last for a period of time, we can have up to 3. It's kind of like a Zelda. You can like jump from one to the other, and then the ones behind us start to crumble and break as new ones form in front of us. But the instantaneous effects, the ones that don't last, or like you can move water around in currents. I'm not sure. I think that's a different, or might be a part of the same pool. But I think 3 in general is how it goes.
You all appear, you stare upon this, an endless field of blood stacked high enough that you recognize the top of the trebuchets.
Oh, sorry,
And-
it's 2. I misread that.
Okay, so who are you guys having currently standing on ice?
If me and Killian, it's a 5-foot square, and we can have 2 of them up basically. If like Mo's on me, Paka's on like Jojo, Killian's on that, I think we can all fit.
Here's what happens. Paka climbs up onto your like ice platform, Jojo, and just begins to scurry up and holds onto you, and he's just like, "Oh, this is our floor. This is the one with all the blood." As he points
Yeah.
to the ground, and it's just like, "That's the one I told you about."
Yeah, I can see that, Paka.
Okay. Mimsy in the blood
Thanks.
is just kind of like fucking swimming around happily.
They turned himself into like a little flesh boat.
You know what?
Oh my
they
God.
don't, but they do. After a few
I hate
seconds, you
it.
see them just like one big gulp and then just bend in on themselves and then form themselves into a small raft.
We
So,
ride them. Mimsy, can I ride
One
you?
person could.
We obviously see the person standing out there, right?
As you find yourselves in this open field, in the distance you see what amounts more to a cocoon than a knight, but you recognize them. The Raven Knight hovers. The head kind of just cocked down, looking towards this field of blood, and the cloak of feathers wrapped around them as they sit in just an egg. They show no hostility. They're just sitting in the center of this battlefield, every now and then twitching as the cloak billows slightly.
Vincent will connect to Jojo and Matilda. We saw the statues before. Did he give us a name for these guys?
This is the fourth. Let me check my book. And she pops open her book. This is, the 4th Night Valor, the Raven Knight. When
name.
I believe Killian touched it, it gave you the fly spell.
It did.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Am I still standing in blood? Am I on someone's ice? Like, where
No,
am I?
you're standing where Mimsy's standing, because Mimsy's
Okay.
in the water, and then Killian's on top of Bladebeak.
Jojo just takes out her book, which is out drenched in blood, and she just sort of shakes it as it's an enduring journal, and it just sort of looks like it's all laminated as the blood comes off.
You kind of want to ride a Mimsy, but I don't want to like.
Get eaten.
Yeah.
Well, is everyone up to engage in another? Because I feel like if we approach it, something might happen. Try to go around it.
I mean, maybe we should try talking to them.
This one doesn't seem as hostile as the last one.
They also probably speak common because they're from the other side, so they'd be able to understand.
We should spread out, though, knowing that they use,
Well, I look at Mimsy, and then I look at Matilda. You want to get in the flesh boat? If not, you're going to be in the water.
All right. right, Mimsy, please don't eat me.
Does not respond.
Oh, no.
Hop into the flesh
Slaps.
boat.
Vincent starts to, he'll walk over here, making sure he's still above the water level.
Jojo starts swimming for the trebuchet.
You're swimming?
Yeah.
Tamara is horrified and upset at you.
You dive
Just
into the
red
blood ocean and you begin to swim.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
Everyone?
Mimsy begins to float suspiciously further away from your party members.
Oh.
Vincent will so
Bianca
you
is on
basically
Jojo.
would have to get off Mimsy if you don't want to be that far away, Tamara. Vincent will like connect with all of you guys and be like, once you're in position, just give me a wave, and then I'll go up and start talking to it.
Okay.
And Vincent will I'll hold on that actually.
Vincent, will you help me clean my bags and stuff after, please?
Sure do. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I hop in and Matilda doesn't care, but I don't like it.
Waiting for everyone to get in position. Vincent will non-hostily start approaching this person and take the earbuds out of his ears.
As you
Mo,
approach,
he sends Mo off above him so they can stay up in the air.
here's the first thing you notice. As soon as you go to take those out of your ears, bad idea. Because from the distance, all you hear is boom, 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 boom.
Oh, he
boom,
puts them back
boom.
in. If
Just-
he can he feel that against him, or is it purely sound base?
You go, like, you begin to move in. The second you guys landed at this place, you can even see the waves in the water are that tone. Just
Oh,
pouring
okay.
through the area.
Then he won't remove it. He probably noticed that. So yeah, he sends Mo up. Tells him to go invisible.
Could I make some sort of when Dallas told me that when I banged the swords together it played a verse of the Song of War. Does that how could this be a verse? It's like the same note over and over again. Should I roll something or is that just all my insight on that?
I don't think you have enough information to answer that question.
Okay, cool.
This guy's also only playing one verse, but he's really good at it.
God, he's good at. I did specify
do-
this is a G note.
I want to.
Yeah, you're right.
You can see there's dead bodies, so Matilda's making a very, very pointed effort to not go near all the bodies I see floating around.
The bodies are basically, as you can see, they're not floating there. They are piled there. But the
Yeah.
bodies that remain here are solid land, as best as you can receive. But Vincent, as you move through, just freezing the pathway in front of you, the raven has not moved. You still just hear
As
body
Vincent,
like just breaking and it's faint shifting.
he'll get close, about this close. He's going to again. He sends Mo about 30 feet up. He's not with him. And tells him to keep an eye out, and if combat engages, he can try and be useful. He'll connect in with this Raven Knight, and he'll. I'm sure he hears the thousandfold tone. That's not a surprise to him, but that doesn't mean that they can't still hear him. Well, we're sorry for the intrusion. Can we make our way through here?
You approach, you begin to communicate with them. You do hear the thousandfold tone, like roughly 3.5 second long tone that plays over and over and over again. And as you listen in and you begin to speak to them, the head like cocks up slightly, this just raven-headed helmet. I don't actually believe I showed the Raven Knight last time. You guys can see it. The head looks up and you can see the mouth muttering over and over again. Just... Then the head shuffles right back downwards. But they still show no hostility. Just muttering in madness.
Can I tell what they're saying?
You don't have the ability to read lips.
Vincent is going to subtly cast Charm Person on this individual. DC
Are
is
you doing it
15.
at a higher level?
So if the spell fails before it even gets onto them, they still don't know I cast it. It has to apply to them first and then end for them to know it.
Yeah, but I
based
need
on
to know
warning.
what spell level you're casting it before you cast it.
Well, I have to do it at 2. I have no first level spell slots left.
Beautiful. So wisdom save. They
And it
sit
is
there.
subtle.
They sit there muttering. And then you feel yourself connect in. The mind twisting. The whole body begins to shirk. And as in the tone of this boom, boom, boom resounding bell, your charm person is dissipated.
Okay.
There is no friend or foe here. There is only this madness.
Okay. Vincent will look towards Matilda's close enough.
Oh, are we connected in? Jojo waves.
She'll connect in. Yeah, you guys are close enough.
You have the silent spell, right?
I do not do.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said before that you did.
I was debating, but I didn't get it this time.
Okay.
Maybe a scroll or something another time.
Can we tell where the bell's coming from?
The closer you get, you can actually see the city itself off in the distance. The golden tower and the golden bell atop it, ringing in the sunlight.
But it's like a constant, like, ring, 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 ring.
It is a
boom, boom.
desperate and endless song.
Can Vincent reach into his... He's going to pull out a... Oh, he doesn't have... It's on Paka, so he'll just cue Mo to go grab it off of Paka and then fly back over and give it to him. Some extra wax.
He does so.
Vincent will, non-hostily, with his no weapons out or anything, just hold the wax up in his hand and walk up to this individual and try and put it over their ears.
Ooh. You approach up to the figure. The muttering continues. I'll say roll sleight of hand.
Can I add cool under pressure to this?
Yes. What is your cool under pressure skill at?
+3.
+3? Okay.
It's the max. I will also add my... I'll add my ring to this, so I'll bring it up to a 23, just to make it extra special.
You reach your hands up. It's difficult. The helmet almost encases the entire head. But as you bring yourself through, place the you would expect earlobes, but you find none. Bringing your hand up, it's just a solid side of the head, and then as you find what amounts to what this creature might hear from, you just implant the wax and flatten it. And then the muttering...
Can you hear me now? You'll try to mentally connect to them.
There's no response, there's just the thousandfold tone, but the face lifts slightly. Begins to look around. Looks down and spots you, and in common says, in a sultry feminine voice, says, "What have
In
you
their...
done?"
Is it in their head? They're like thinking about what they want to say so we can hear it?
All you hear on your end is the thousandfold tone. As they open their mouth to speak, they begin to speak out loud.
But he's deaf and he can't hear them. You can see their mouths moving.
Roll perception with disadvantage. Try and read their lips.
Cool.
Matilda
under
being
pressure.
like 40 feet away would be a stretch, but being right next to them is a maybe. Yes, I think that would apply for... This is all kind of pressure.
With disadvantage. Oh, nat 20. Oh, it's disadvantage. So that's
Oh, it's a
Dirty
normal...
20.
Yeah, dirty 20. Looking at the lips, you manage to discern what they're saying. But basically just... What have you done? What have I done? She looks down and sees the pool of blood underneath and raises a leg, and you see these abnormally long and thin limbs. What is this?
In her
What just
head,
happened?
he's getting the gist of what she's like starting to panic and see her surroundings essentially. In her head, he'll try to respond with, We just got here. Can you explain what happened? We should leave this location. It's not safe.
She, like, raises a taloned foot and looks down at the pile of bodies and brings herself down to her knees. My friends. They say he used the song upon us. His allies. This madness must end. Please. Help us. Raking at the head, you see the hands like lift up and these just long distended fingernails begin to scrape along the metal, trying to remove the helmet and can't.
Can Vincent go down and help her take our helmet off?
You reach down, you grab the sides of the metal hawk-shaped helmet and you begin to lift it off. Looking down at the face underneath, and you see just like bulbous, malformed eyes, patchy hair, solid side of the face. Like the skin of the ears had been pulled back and fused with the back of the head, and there's just faint mohawk that burns down towards the back, and it just continues down the lower back. And she looks around and begins to just shake as the cold hits her skin.
He'll reach a hand out to her, and then in her head be, let's go. We can help.
Roll persuasion.
Advantage or no?
Just persuasion.
22.
I would like to use my reaction to add a +3 to that for a flash of genius.
25.
What amounts to like a moment of hesitation, and you see like this just twinge of anger and madness and confusion pass through the eyes. And then as you reach a hand out, they like pull back instinctively before reaching out that long hand, and the fingers wrap around yours almost twice.
Beautiful. Vincent will help her stand up.
Raises to the full height of like 7.5 feet. Just looms over the battlefield, head just staring in every direction. Tree, holy ground. You will be safe there. I can take you.
He casts the spell to like let her walk on it, so she's on solid ground, the shape water, and essentially starts following her, and then we'll ping everyone to follow.
Have you seen the commander?
Thinking back, do we know who? Oh, that's probably the dude on the horse that we don't know where it is. No, fortunately.
He must be down there. Did I put him there?
Once you are safe, we'll look.
Begins to move, and again, the cloak underneath just kind of billows open and begins to lift her above the water and just begins to hover. Again, vroom, vroom, vroom. The bell still ringing its tone throughout the entire battlefield. And you all begin to follow this individual.
Yes.
Traversing to the
Yep.
east.
Well,
Across
unless someone
the Blood
doesn't
River.
want to.
Mimsy turns around and goes this way.
Mimsy!
And then you call out and it's just like,
Matilda did say she got in the water, though.
Yeah, I did.
did
I
you?
was
Okay.
Like, I was like, bye. I was upset about it, but I was like, I want to be with my friends.
Mimsy, think about the blood shoot, the body shoot.
Mimsy begins following closely after Matilda. As you all begin to move to the east, following behind this just shadow moving across this ocean of blood, eventually it comes into view, a small patch of land. The blood dare not touch. The grass still yet green. And as you look on towards it, an unearthly calm sets in around you. As you glance, everyone roll nature.
It's not one to stare at the flowers for too long.
18.
Can I guide myself?
Yeah, you may.
Oh, could I use Eureka?
You may.
Hey, I keep on forgetting to use those.
Don't roll in stuff a lot.
It's 19. I also have boost, so I should be doing it
wow.
for strength and
I
intelligence.
got a 6. Even though okay,
You are
well,
just as interested in these flowers as Vincent is. Don't worry about it.
A feather descends and lands upon your head, and in a single burst of knowledge, a voice comes through your ears that says, "Fuck, I don't know." Jojo, looking towards
Touch
the area, reach out and touch grass. As you you look on towards this grove, and you can see that the destroyed and desiccated trees, the bits of stumps, and what has been immolated within the area, this likely was a hidden place, somewhere not easily traversed to nor found. But you can see that with this desolation, it is all that remains. As you approach this large tree that sits in the center of a calm grove, a gentle wind blowing over it, juxtaposed against the ocean of blood that has risen to meet this high cliff, you find a moment of rest. This large, grand oak tree is encircled by a thick rope, and at the base of it, you see various different golden yellow flowers. Some sat kind of like facing one direction, others facing another, and in the center on a dish, a single lavender plant. And as the Raven Knight flies her way to this location, it kind of just lands on her knees and looks up towards the tree. Just glances for one last second before bringing one hand down to the ground and then just laying in the grass, staring upwards. This just hideous form. You see these just gnarled fingertips that are akin to just an avian claw begin to shirk and shrink. The armor comes back down to that of a human. It's finely decorated, but she returns for a brief moment to lucidity, or looking onwards to the sky, and you all approach. You found a haven.
Ooh.
Oh.
Does Vincent feel the pangs of the sound on him, or does he feel like
You don't.
he takes his earbuds out and then nods to everyone else?
Mm.
And then, if she permits, he'll lean down and take the wax out of her ears.
You reach down, you take them out. See
You
her,
wanna say it?
her raven black hair leads back and just like pulled down. Her eyes are just this kind of pale steel gray, but in the interior you can see there's just flecks of gold wrapped around the how am I so
Iris?
dumb. No.
People?
Thank you. Within the interior of the retina, you see a gold ring around the pupil. She has this kind of like just dark, almost like auburn brown skin that leads down, it's incredibly just soft. But as she looks at you, you can see the eyes just hardened. She leans up for a second and kind of leans up against the tree and just stares. Blood trickles down. She is here, she is lucid. What do you do?
Who did this to you? Was it we've heard tales of someone called like a father of terror or the professor. Is that who did this to you?
He was supposed to be locked up. Driven away for what he did in the jungles below. Fucking sorcerers. I thought we did the right thing. Getting rid of him. We needed all the power we could. The time came. Fucking Ludumnians are attacking. But Savilar's not who he used to be.
He used the saw.
It's all wrong.
Sevalar is your commander.
The king, didn't he?
She reaches a hand out, like points down towards one of your waists, like beckoning for a water skin.
Jojo will hand her hers.
Takes
The
it.
old shitty ale.
I have an actual water skin. I also have shitty ale if you'd prefer.
She places the water skin on the ground and reaches out another hand for the ale.
I hand her the shitty ale.
She takes it, and the first thing she does, she kind of like pulls the breastplate up a little bit, winces as she pours the ale down a little bit of her shirt, and then takes a swig, just disinfecting that little bit of a gaping wound. As she pulls back, you can hear the sound of like blood, just the soaked shirt underneath. Vincent, you have connected into this individual's mind. The 1,000-fold tone disappears.
Oh.
Vincent will cast Cure Wounds on this person. Or Healing Word.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
14.
You fall unconscious. Roll a d4.
See, all I picture is this, like, you see Vincent go to like cast a spell from he's standing like a little bit behind Jojo, and then he just falls to his knees and just stays there. He doesn't like fall right over, he's just kneeling with his eyes closed.
Oh, he's got that 6-pack abs. The stat that's 16.5.
3.
Yep.
3 hours? Yikes.
Ooh.
I'm going to say this. Who's passive perception? Vincent, you're the only person who can roll this with passive perception. You may roll a perception check. You will need an ungodly number to succeed. I will tell you that right now.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
At 20.
3. Oh, that's the.
That was the
Never
d4.
mind. All right.
Can I roll cool under pressure now? Because you've made this really,
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't think the pressure has loosened necessarily yet. You do feel an uneasy sense of calm here, but as soon as you start to go unconscious, I'd say the pressure probably mounts a little bit more again.
Any way I can get advantage on this perception check?
Person?
Yeah, I'm wondering if any of my. Is there any way? Can you guys think of a way I can get advantage on this? Is like someone helping me or not?
Carson, let me check if Carson.
Carson.
Yep, it was a good idea. I'm glad I said it.
Stolen
He's in my
valor.
head
What
all
the
the
fuck?
time.
He's proficient in perception, and he has expertise in stealth.
Okay.
So
So
you
I can
may
roll with
advantage.
Expertise is so rude.
It's only a
Yeah.
19.
19.
Not quite godly.
It
No,
is
it's
not
like
an
a
ungodly
30.
number.
I don't think I could get ungodly. It's not performance
Non-perception.
You go to cast Healing Word. Matilda, you recognize the spell. I believe Killian, you also recognize the spell. And then Vincent falls to his knees and remains taut. But his eyes close and he falls unconscious. Carson kind of like reaches over and grabs you and just places you on the ground in mild confusion. It's like, what happened?
You okay?
What do you mean? What happened?
He fell
You just-
unconscious. What happened?
What?
He was trying to cast a spell, I think.
Can we not cast spells here? Is he okay?
I don't think you can cast spells on them.
Oh.
Carson stands up and begins like looking
Carson
around. You
would
can see he's
know.
visibly worried.
Carson's in my head all the time, so he would know what Vincent's intentions were just before he fell unconscious.
Shit,
What
he
do you
tried
tell
to
them?
heal her.
The 1,000-fold
We
tone
can't save
would,
her.
would be gone in her head. Let them know that.
Carson does. This one points down towards her and she's like, hey, what about you did this? Tone is
Hey.
gone.
Does that mean that she'd be able to leave the dungeon?
Fucking dungeon.
Well, but only in this area, unless there's a gate here, which doesn't seem likely.
Well, maybe it would stay gone for good.
Or what about a trick, bro?
Maybe we could try and take her to the 10th floor with us.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna do that, I mean, she looks injured, right?
Yeah. Are you gonna
Starts to
make
get
it to the
delirious.
Oh no.
Okay, well,
Oh, hair. She puts the amulet of the drunkard on her. Drink again. Drink again. Then I'm not casting anything.
Has that been used?
I believe it hasn't been. I used it on the previous floor, and then we had a long rest, and I haven't used it since.
Okay. You place the amulet of the drunkard down on her. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Well, it's on her now, and you've told her
Well,
to drink. So
shit.
even if you fail.
But I didn't cast anything. That's a 5.
Okay.
It's actually just peer pressure.
Here's what I
Vincent
want to
was
say.
like, you need to get heal. You need to heal, and then you were like, you need to drink, and both.
Jojo, I want you to roll a your passive perception is just you fall unconscious.
Okay.
You literally you
Can
like
you
go,
deploy?
you take the amulet off, you place it on her chest, and you're like, now drink. You slam into the ground. You are unconscious. As the rest of you sit within this area, the ground begins to shake.
Oh gosh.
She reaches up, she like takes the water skin and reaches a hand up to her mouth in a desperate attempt to drink. What do you
I
do?
help her.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
What?
We need someone to stay away.
Dude,
I'm not. She's drinking water.
yeah. Can't do anything to help her.
Oh.
No, this is the shitty ale that she needs to
This
drink
is
to
she
heal.
has the shitty ale. She threw away the water skin.
Oh.
She's gonna die. She's gonna die drunk. Matilda, you're like, you walk forward and you go to reach a hand out and then you fall unconscious.
Oh no! Killian, it's all up to you.
Mage hand?
Okay. I hop off Bladebeak, and I say, Bladebeak, help her drink.
Killian, you move forward, and as you call out to Bladebeak, you do not roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
In fact, rather than that, you hear from above you. The sky opens. Black hole above.
Oh,
In the center, you see a spherical object begin to descend. It turns, the metal plates shifting in place until eventually they open in an iris pattern and stare down towards you.
What a dick.
The iris begins to descend. It says, Dungeon born. You have a choice. This changes everything. What will you do?
I like reach out and help her drink the ale.
The eye just fixates in, stares down towards you. The ground begins to shake.
Oh god.
You are not ready.
Whoa.
Let her die. You see the eye begin to shift. Light grows within it. This like beam of light encircles the entire island that you're on, and as the iris increases, it increases to a 90-foot radius sphere that hovers around you. Make your choice.
So, Killian's still panicking. So Damon is. She went to try to heal her, or to help her get healed, and then the iris, as I went to do that, the like eyeball was like, "You're not ready. Let her die."
Yes.
Well, if it's my choice, why is it telling me what to do? So, Killian's just gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna help. What do you think? Joel, I'm in the dungeon. I was a dungeon born, so I'm just gonna like stab her when she's injured, right?" And I just like grab the drink and like try to force it down her.
Yeah,
throat.
with the help of
Oh.
Bladebeak.
If we TPK, fucking worth it.
The eye closes.
Father is disappointed.
The central figure. See the metal plates shift and open like a camera shutter. An iris is on that side. But as the figure opens, you see within the central shell a humanoid. And the entire thing crumples. Everyone who is currently unconscious cannot succeed to save.
Okay.
Killian, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, just avoid this god's attack. Don't worry about it.
Dad, help!
Okay, fine.
I can't do shit in here.
This is also a full-fledged god. This is not one of their little. Do you have an inspiration?
No!
all of
Go
you
for
have
it.
Died.
failed this check.
Oh God!
Every one of you find the world go dark.
Oh God!
As you reach forward, Killian, you jam the ale in her mouth, and the amulet begins to just like, I figure it just goes. That's my guess. But as the liquid begins to pour down her throat, you see the wounds begin to close, but not only that, you just hear. And as everything goes dark around you, a faint speck of light appears. Center of where that tree once stood, and from it, you return. Blood is gone. You find yourselves now underneath the shade of this tree. You're not where you once were. You hear a faint voice. You open your eyes, you look heavenward. You see a city. Unfathomably beautiful. Your mind reels, taking in the architecture. It stands glowing brighter than the sun itself, and you hear, finally, the first step.
Oh.
The rest of your party unconscious. And this unknown woman, this knight, standing, or now laying on the ground, unconscious but stable. And you left in this grove underneath the tree, shedding sacred light. And that is where we will end today's session.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Thank you all for coming. Until next time, at the Dragonleaf. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.